Claude Code full course, build and automate anything. Okay, so here's something most people don't know about Claude Code. You don't need to be a developer to use it, not even close. In fact, 3 of the 5 winners of Anthropic's own Claude Code hackathon weren't developers at all. 1 was a personal injury attorney, 1 was a cardiologist, and 1 was a road systems worker. They all beat hundreds of software engineers. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to use Claude Code yourself, step by step, from scratch. This is a full course, no fluff, no jargon, just the stuff that actually works. Let's go. So before we get into the course, I want to clear something up right away because this throws a lot of people off. Claude Code has the word code in the name. So most people assume it's only for programmers, like it is not. Think of it less like a coding tool and more like Claude with superpowers running directly on your computer. And I'm going to show you what that actually means in practice. Build and automate anything with Claude Code. Here's how. Okay, so this is big. Claude Code just got a massive update. And I'm not even joking when I say this. You can now talk to your computer and it writes code for you, like out loud with your voice, no typing. And that's not even the craziest part. It now reviews its own code too. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to use Claude Code to build and automate pretty much anything you want. And I'm going to show you real examples step by step, even if you've never written a single line of code in your life. So let's get into it. Claude Code is Anthropic's AI coding tool. Think of it like having a developer sitting right next to you. You tell it what you want, it builds it. You can use it from your terminal. You can use it inside your code editor. And now you can use it with just your voice. It writes code, fixes bugs, refactors messy files, and automates tasks that would normally take hours. And the best part is you don't need to be a developer to use it. You just need to know what you want to build. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Claude Code just rolled out 3 big updates, and these change everything. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below and let us know. First up, voice mode. This is brand new. You type /voice into Claude Code and it starts listening. You talk to it like you talk to a friend. You say something like, build me a landing page for the AI Profit Boardroom that highlights our AI automation community, shows the benefits of joining, and includes a clear call to action to sign up. And it just starts writing the code right in front of you, no keyboard needed. This is live right now for a small group of users and rolling out fast. And honestly, once you try it, you won't want to go back to typing prompts. Second update, AI-powered code review. This one is a game changer for anyone building real projects. Claude Code now sends out multiple AI agents at the same time to review your code. They look for bugs, they check for logic errors, they suggest fixes, and they plug straight into GitHub, so you get comments right on your pull requests. So imagine you just built an entire automation workflow for the AI Profit Boardroom. Maybe it's a system that collects leads, sends a welcome email, and tags them in your CRM. Before you ship it, Claude Code reviews the whole thing for you, finds the issues, fixes them all automatically. Third, security. Anthropic released a new security research preview inside Claude Code. It gives you advanced tools to spot vulnerabilities and protect your projects. So if you're building anything that handles user data, this is massive. Now let me show you how this actually works in practice, because features are cool, but what matters is what you can do with them. Let's say you want to build a full automation system for the AI Profit Boardroom. Here's how you do it with Claude Code, step by step. Step 1, you open Claude Code and give it a clear prompt, something like create a Node.js API that takes a new member sign up from our landing page, saves their info to a database, sends them a personalized welcome email, and adds them to our weekly AI tips email list. Claude Code writes the entire thing, server, routes, database connection, email logic, all of it. Step 2, you use the code review feature. You tell Claude Code to review what it just built. It scans every file, finds any issues. Maybe there's a missing error handler. Maybe the email function doesn't retry on failure. It catches all of that and fixes it for you. Step 3, you tell Claude Code to write tests. You say write tests for the sign up API to make sure it handles missing fields. duplicate emails and server errors, it writes the tests, runs them. If something fails, it fixes the code and runs them again automatically. This loop keeps going until everything passes. Step 4, you automate the deployment. You say create a deployment script that pushes this to production and sets up environment variables for the email service and database. Done. You just built, tested, reviewed, and deployed a full automation system. And you barely touched your keyboard. Now here's a quick heads up, and I want to be honest with you because that's how we do things. Claude Code is powerful, but it's not perfect. There have been real cases where AI tools have made mistakes, deleted files, overwritten important code. So you always want to keep backups, always review what it produces, and don't just blindly accept everything. Use it as a partner, not a replacement. Human oversight still matters. And one more thing, if you're building all this cool stuff with AI, but nobody is finding it online, you've got a traffic problem. That's where SEO comes in. If you want more leads, more traffic, and more customers, my team can help you rank higher on Google. Check the link in the comments and description to order AI SEO online, and let us handle your backlinks while you focus on growing your business. And if you want to rank #1 and get more customers, join the SEO Elite Circle. That's where we actually teach you how this works. No theory, no recycled tips, just the exact AI SEO systems we're using right now. We break everything down step by step with real workflows, weekly live support, and clear actions you can follow without guessing. If you're serious about scaling with SEO and AI, this is where you start. Hit the link in the description and join the SEO Elite Circle today. Now let me give you a few more real examples of what you can build with Claude Code, because the possibilities here are honestly ridiculous. You could say, build me a content calendar dashboard for the AI Profit Boardroom that pulls in our blog topics, scheduled social posts, and YouTube upload dates into one clean interface. Claude Code builds it, full front end, clean design, working filters and search. Or you could say, create a chatbot for our website that answers common questions about the AI Profit Boardroom, explains what members get access to, and collects email addresses from interested visitors. It builds the chatbot, the logic, the responses, the email capture, all from one prompt. Or here's another one. Refactor our existing Python scripts that scrape SEO data and make them faster, cleaner, and add error logging so we know when something breaks. Claude Code goes through every file, cleans it up, adds the login, makes it faster, and you can review every single change before you accept it. This is why developers are going all in on this tool right now. Right? It's not just about writing code anymore. It's about building entire systems, reviewing them, testing them, shipping them, all from natural language prompts. And with voice mode, you can literally do this while walking around your office, while brainstorming on a whiteboard, while eating lunch. You just talk and it builds. That's where we are now. Now, a lot of people ask me, how does Claude Code compare to other tools like GitHub Copilot or Cursor? And here's the honest answer. Claude Code is built for full workflow automation. It's not just autocomplete in your editor. It handles multi-file projects. It runs agents in parallel for code review. It has autonomous loops where it writes, tests, and fixes code on its own. And now it has voice. That's a different level, but don't take my word for it. Go try it yourself. Open Claude Code, give it a real task, something you've been putting off, and watch what happens. And one more thing, if you're building all this cool stuff with AI, but nobody is finding it online, you've got a traffic problem. That's where SEO comes in. If you want more leads, more traffic, and more customers, my team can help you rank higher on Google. Check the link in the comments and description to order AI SEO online, and let us handle your backlinks while you focus on growing your business. And if you want to rank #1 and get more customers, join the SEO Elite Circle. That's where we actually teach you how this works. No theory, no recycled tips, no fluff, just the exact AI SEO systems we're using right now to rank and grow. We break everything down step by step with real workflows, real examples, weekly live support, and clear actions you can follow without guessing. You get access to the same strategies we use inside our own agency, the stuff that actually moves the needle. If you're serious about scaling with SEO and AI, this is where you start. Stop trying to figure it all out on your own. Hit the link in the description and join the SEO Elite Circle today. All right, that's it for today. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. New Claude Code update is insane. Claude Code just dropped something that dev teams are going crazy over. It's called BTW, and it might be the most useful thing to hit AI coding tools all year. You type one command, you get an instant answer without losing your flow. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to want this running on every coding session you do. So Claude Code is Anthropic's terminal-based AI coding assistant. You run it right in your terminal. No browser, no tabs, just you, your code, and AI helping you build stuff faster. It's already pretty powerful. But there was always one problem. When you're deep in a long coding session, refactoring something big, running a long job, waiting for a build, and a quick question pops into your head, what do? You either stop what you're doing, or you open a browser, or you scroll back through a messy conversation history trying to find context. That kills your flow every time. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. Anthropic just fixed that. They shipped a new command inside Claude Code. It's called BTW. You type BTW and then your question, just like that. Like, cool, BTW. What's the best way to handle retry logic here? And boom, instant overlay response right there in your terminal. No new thread, no tool calls cluttering things up, no history noise, just a clean, fast answer drawn straight from the full context of your current conversation. And when you're done reading it, one key press, it disappears, you're back in your flow. That's it. That's the magic. Now, here's the part I want you to really think about. This isn't just a cool feature. This is a signal about where AI tooling is going. The best AI tools aren't going to be the ones that do the most things. They're going to be the ones that get out of your way while still being there when you need them. BTW is exactly that. It's ambient intelligence. It's there. It's fast. It doesn't interrupt. Think about the AI Profit Boardroom, our private community for business owners scaling with AI. One of the biggest things our members ask about is, how do I actually use AI without it slowing me down? Because that's a real trap with a lot of AI tools. You spend more time managing the AI than you do getting work done. BTW solves that for developers. And the principle, build AI that fits around the workflow, not the other way around. That's what we teach inside the AI Profit Boardroom every single week. If you want to learn how to save time and automate your business using AI tools like Claude Code, the link to join is in the comment and description. Come in, see how other business owners are doing it, and build your own AI systems that actually work. Let me show you exactly how this plays out in the real world. So engineer Eric Schluntz built Jotch BTW as a side project inside Anthropic. It wasn't some big planned feature with a giant roadmap. He just built it because it solved a real problem. That's how the best tools get made. Tariq from the Anthropic team demoed it live. He was in the middle of a refactoring session, rewriting some code with exponential backoff. That's the kind of task where you get deep in the weeds. You're changing multiple files, you're thinking through edge cases, and right in the middle of that, he types BTW. Can you explain how the retry logic works here? The overlay pops up, clean answer, full context. He reads it, presses a key, gone. He keeps coding, no break in the session, no scrolling back, no reopening a browser. The developers who saw this demo went crazy for it. And honestly, when you see it in action, you get why. Because it doesn't sound like much on paper, but when you're 45 minutes into a hard coding session, that kind of tool is worth its weight in gold. Here's something worth understanding about why this works so well. The BTW command draws from your full conversation context. That's the key part. Claude Code already knows what you're working on. It knows the files, it knows the history of what you've been doing in that session. So when you type BTW, it's not starting from zero. It already has all the context it needs to give you a sharp, relevant answer. That's very different from opening a new chat window and trying to explain your whole situation from scratch. And the fact that it's dismissible with one key press, that's not a small thing, that's intentional design. The goal was to make sure it never becomes a distraction. You look at it when you want to, you close it when you're done. Now let me zoom out for a second, because this feature tells us something bigger about where Anthropic is going with Claude Code as a product. They're not just building an AI that writes code, they're building an AI that fits into how developers actually work. Developers don't sit in clean, quiet environments where they can focus on one thing at a time. They're managing long builds, they're switching context constantly, they're answering Slack messages while waiting for a test to run. The BTW feature is designed for that reality, and here's the open loop I want to leave you with. This is just the start. If Anthropic is shipping side project features like this, things that Eric Schluntz built on his own and shipped into production, what else is coming? What does the full roadmap look like for Claude Code as it matures? Because right now it's a terminal tool, but the pace of development on this thing is fast, and the direction they're going, ambient, low friction, context aware, That's a very strong foundation to build on. Let's talk about practical use. If you're using Claude Code already, here's how to think about TouchBTW. Use it when you have a quick question that doesn't need a full back and forth. Things like, what does this function do? Why might this be throwing an error? What's the difference between these two approaches? What should I name this variable? Those are .btw questions, fast, specific, contextual. If you're doing something bigger, like asking Claude to rewrite a whole module or plan out a new feature, that's a full conversation. Use the main interface for that. BTW is your quick check-in tool. Think of it like asking a senior dev who's sitting right next to you, hey, real quick, what's the best way to handle this? You get a fast answer, you move on. That's the mental model. Now let's bring this back to what it means for your business. If you're a business owner or an agency owner watching this, you might not be writing code every day. But the principle here applies to everything, that the AI tools that win are the ones that fit into your workflow without creating new friction. When we work with members inside the AI Profit Boardroom, that's one of the first things we look at. What's your current workflow? Where are the bottlenecks? And then what AI tools can plug in without adding 5 new steps to your process? Because that's where the real-time savings happen. Not from using the most advanced AI, from using AI that fits naturally into what you're already doing. BTW is a perfect example of that philosophy applied to coding. And if you want to apply that same thinking to your business or automating your marketing, your lead gen, your client communication, your content, that's exactly what we build inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Here's my take on this feature. It's small, it's simple, and it's really well thought out. That combination is rare. A lot of AI features are impressive in demos and annoying in real use. BTW is the opposite. It's not impressive in a demo. It's just useful every single day. And for developers who are spending hours inside Claude Code sessions, that daily usefulness adds up fast. The fact that it came from an internal side project also tells you something about Anthropic's culture. They're not just doing top-down feature planning. They're letting people build things that solve real problems. That's a good sign for the trajectory of Claude Code as a tool. All right, we're almost at the end, but I want to go back to something I said earlier. This is just the start. Claude Code is still early. The OBTW feature is one small piece of a much bigger picture. Anthropic is clearly building toward a world where AI is embedded in the developer workflow in a way that feels natural, not forced. What does that look like in 12 months? What other friction points are they solving? What does Claude Code look like when it's fully mature? I'll be watching, and I'll bring you updates as they come. Now, if you want the full process, SOPs, and over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Profit Boardroom, learn how to automate your workflows with tools like Claude Code, and scale your business with AI automation. The link is in the comments and description. And if you want free access to all the video notes, prompts, and a community of 45,000 members who are crushing it with AI, join the AI Success Lab. It's completely free. Link is in the comments and description. You'll get everything from this video plus way more in there. New Claude Code update is insane. So imagine you open a pull request, and instead of one tired developer reviewing your code, a whole team of AI agents instantly starts hunting for bugs. That just became real. Anthropic just dropped a brand new Claude Code update, and it is insane. And honestly, this might change how software gets built forever. So today I'm going to break down exactly what this update does, how it works, why developers are losing their minds over it, and why you need to pay attention right now, even if you don't write code. Because this is not a small update. This is a whole new way, of building software, and it's happening right now. Let's get into it. So here's the problem nobody talks about. AI tools like Copilot and Claude have made it super easy to write code fast. Like really fast. Developers are pumping out way more code than they ever have before. Anthropic said their own engineers started producing 200% more code after using AI tools. 200%. That sounds amazing, right? But here's the thing. All that code still needs to be reviewed. Someone has to check it. Someone has to make sure there aren't bugs hiding in there. And that part did not speed up. So what happened is you've got way more code coming in, but the same number of humans trying to review it all. And most pull requests will just get in a quick scan, a quick glance, not a deep review. That's like building a house twice as fast, but only checking the foundation half the time. Sooner or later, something breaks. And Anthropic knew this was a problem. So they built something wild to fix it. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. Okay, so let me explain what Anthropic actually built. They created a brand new feature inside Claude Code called Code Review. And this is where it gets crazy. When you open a pull request on GitHub, Claude doesn't just look at your code like one reviewer would. It launches a whole team of AI agents, multiple agents, all working at the same time in parallel. Each agent is looking for something different. One agent is hunting for logic bugs. Another one is scanning for security risks. Another one is checking for performance problems. Another one is looking at architecture issues. And another one is searching for edge cases that could break things later. So instead of one set of eyes on your code, you've got a whole squad. And here's the part that really blew my mind. These agents don't just find stuff and dump it on you. They actually cross-check each other. They verify each other's findings, so the garbage gets filtered out, the false alarms get removed, and what you're left with is a clean, high-signal report of real problems, ranked by how serious they are. Then Claude posts the results right into your pull requests on GitHub. You get one clear summary comment at the top, plus inline comments on the exact lines that have problems. No noise, no fluff. Just the stuff that actually matters. And the whole thing takes about 20 minutes. That's it. 20 minutes and your code has been reviewed by a team of AI agents. Now here's where it gets even smarter. Claude doesn't treat every pull request the same. It actually scales up or down depending on how big and complex the code change is. So if you've got a small, simple change, it does a light review. But if you've got a massive pull request with hundreds of lines of code, it spins up more agents and does a deeper analysis. It adjusts automatically. You don't have to do anything. That is wild. Now, if you want to learn how to use AI tools like Claude Code to automate your workflows and scale your business, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. It's the best place to learn how to save time with AI automation tools like Claude Code and get ahead of everyone else. I'll drop the link in the description and comments. Seriously, go check it out. Okay, so let me show you the results because this is where it gets really good. Before Anthropic turned on this feature, only 16% of their pull requests were getting a deep, thorough review. 16%. That means 84% of code changes were barely being checked. After they turned on Claude Code Review, that number jumped to 54%, more than triple. That's a massive jump in code quality, and it gets even crazier. For large pull requests, the ones with the most risk, Claude found issues in 84% of them. 84%. And on average, it was finding 7.5 problems per large pull request. These aren't fake warnings either. The false positive rate was less than 1%. Less than 1%. That means almost every single thing Claude flagged was a real problem that needed to be fixed. Now, let me tell you a story that really shows why this matters. There was a one-line code change. One line. It looked completely harmless. Any human reviewer would have glanced at it and said, yeah, that's fine, and moved on. But Claude flagged it as critical. And when they looked deeper, they realized if that one line had been merged into production, it would have broken authentication for an entire service. One line of code, that's all it takes, and no human caught it. Claude did. That right there is why this update is insane. So let me zoom out for a second because I think the bigger picture here is even more important than the feature itself. Think about what's happening right now. AI is writing code, AI is now reviewing code, and humans are just approving it. That's the new workflow. That's where we're heading. Software teams are slowly turning into AI engineering teams where the humans are the architects and the AI does the heavy lifting. And this isn't some far-off future prediction. This is happening right now. Anthropic built this because they needed it for their own team. Their own developers were drowning in code reviews. So they built AI agents to handle it, and now they're giving that same tool to everyone else. Now think about where this goes next. Right now, AI can write code and review code, but soon AI will also test code and then deploy code and then monitor code in production. The entire software development lifecycle is going to be handled by AI agents working together. Developers won't be typing code all day. They'll be directing AI agents and making high-level decisions. That's a massive shift, and tools like Claude Code are the first step. And here's the thing that most people miss. This isn't just about coding. This multi-agent approach where you have multiple AI agents working together, checking each other's work and producing better results than any single agent could, that pattern is going to show up everywhere. In marketing, in SEO, in content creation, in business operations. The idea of agent teams is going to be one of the biggest trends in AI over the next year. And Claude Code Review is one of the first real examples of it working at scale. So if you're a developer, this is a no-brainer. You need to try this. It's available right now as a research preview for team and enterprise plans. You just enable Code Review, install the GitHub app, select your repos, and every pull request gets automatically reviewed. That's it. Set it up once and it runs on autopilot. And if you're not a developer, but you run a business or manage a team, you need to understand what's happening here, because the companies that figure out how to use AI agents like this are going to move 10 times faster than everyone else. That's not hype. That's just math. When AI is writing and reviewing code, your team ships faster with fewer bugs. And that means you win. Now, if you want to learn exactly how to use AI tools like Claude Code to automate your business and stay ahead of the curve, join the AI Profit Boardroom. It's the best community to learn how to scale with AI automation, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours using tools like Claude Code. The link is in the description and comments below. And if you want the full process, ALPs, and over 100 AI use cases just like this one, join the AI Success Lab. It's completely free. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. I'll see you in there. All right, thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Today, we're going to be looking at Super Claude and how to give Claude Code superpowers. So this is one free install that gives Claude Code 30 commands, 16 AI agents, and 7 thinking modes. Welcome to the most starred Claude Code framework on the planet. Let me break down exactly what it is, how it works, and how to set it up in under 2 minutes. So this is the Super Claude framework. It's completely free on GitHub. Once you've set this up, you get access to all these commands, agents, and modes inside Claude Code. So we're going to set this up today, and I'll show you exactly how to set it up. It's pretty easy and simple, and then we'll test out and see how it performs too. Let's get this party started. All right, so I'm going to take this URL like so. Then we're going to go over to the terminal, type in Claude as always, and then from here we're going to paste in the GitHub URL, and we're just going to say install this, mate, install this one. So from here we'll get started on that, and in the meantime, whilst that's installing, I'll walk you through exactly what it means, how it works, etc., and we can run through it together and ride around the track together. So what you can see here is, if you're not familiar with Claude Code, by the way, we can start from zero, and I'll make this really quick. There's a company called Anthropic. They built an AI called Claude. Claude can write code, answer questions, and build entire apps. Now, Claude Code is a special version of Claude that lives inside your computer's terminal. It looks like this. And the terminal is that black screen where developers type commands. You type what you want in plain English, Claude Code builds it for you. And you want to think of Claude Code as a genius intern sitting inside your computer, ready to code anything you ask for. Here's the catch. Claude Code is powerful, but it has no structure. No shortcuts, no specialized experts, no memory, unless you add them in later, which is what we're doing. It's a raw brain with no playbook, and that's exactly what Super Claude fixes. Now, if you're wondering what Super Claude is, let me talk you through that. So Super Claude is a free open source framework that sits on top of Claude Code. It gives Claude Code 30 commands, so instant shortcuts, 16 AI agents, so specialist experts, 7 behavioral modes, so different thinking styles, and 8 MCP server integrations. So these are plug-in superpowers. And Super Claude basically transforms Claude Code into a structured development platform through behavioral instructions and component orchestration. Basically, it makes it a lot better. Claude Code is the engine, Super Claude is the steering wheel, GPS, and turbo boost. And it's built by over 52 contributors around the world. It has 21,000 stars, and it's on version 4.2 right now, and it's 100% free on the MIT license. Now, if you're wondering how to install it, like I said before, you can just open up your terminal. You can use a command like this if you just want to get it installed. Otherwise, you can go inside Claude Code and just get it set up, as you can see right here, and then we'll run through how to set up in a second. Let's see what we got in the questions here whilst we're waiting. So Dadoja, it says, I stopped using OpenClaw. I stick with the max plan, Claude Code, and find life so much better. I would agree with you there. Like, I don't use OpenClaw that much compared to Claude Code. Claude Code is more reliable, it's more stable, it doesn't break as much. I love what it's doing. I love the power of something like OpenClaw, but it does break a lot. Let's be 100% honest with you. So I'm with you there. I actually did a breakdown today inside the AI Profit Boardroom explaining why I'm using Claude Code a lot more, and you can see this is installed now, so we just need to restart Claude Code to start using them, and then you can see the examples right here. All right, it says no if you want to use So you can just get started with this, all right? So if we restart Claude Code, we're just going to shut down the terminal here, get Claude opened again. And then if you're wondering, okay, like what sort of agents do you get here? So for example, you get like a testing agent, a PM agent. So it's like a project management agent that can track tasks, manage priorities, and document stuff. You got a front-end architect design, a security engineer, and a deep research agent as well. So these are some of the others, but you also get 11 more specialized agents on top of it. Now, also what you can see here is you get different behavioral modes, right? So different tasks and different thinking. So let me give you an example, right? Brainstorming, for example, ask the right questions before jumping to answers. So let's try and switch on brainstorming mode here. So let's try this. We'll try and switch on brainstorming mode using Super Claude, see how it performs. So you can see here that it's actually loaded that skill we were talking about earlier. So you can switch on brainstorm mode pretty easily using this. And then you can see here, it's like, who's your target audience? What's your content style? What's your angle? What time frame you're targeting, any constraints or preferences, right? So it's pretty easy to start using this. And you see how it just thinks a lot more before it jumps into something else. Now we could switch it over, right? And we could say, okay, use a front-end developer to start building out a new website for us. So let's try that. We're going to take this information from the AI Profit Boardroom, like you can see, and we'll plug that into the terminal here, and we'll say, okay, create a new front end for this website, the AI Profit Boardroom, my AI Profit Boardroom community. And then we need to switch the thinking mode here because we're using Super Claude, right? So we need to switch to, I would say, let's see here. We've got orchestration mode, which, yeah, I think orchestration mode. We'll switch to normal mode, plus use the front end agent to do it. And basically what we're doing here is switching the type of mode that we're in, plus switching to using the front end agent to complete the task, right? This is using Super Claude again. So you get 7 different behavioral modes: brainstorming, business panel, deep research, orchestration, token efficiency, task management. This is a really interesting one as well, introspection. So Claude analyzes its own thinking to catch mistakes. And you got a bunch of agents you can use over here. So you can just call them and ask them to switch over. And then also deep research as well is a pretty cool one. So there's something called deep research, which is autonomous, right? That means you give it a topic and walk away. It does everything on its own. So it searches up to 40 sources automatically, performs up to 5 different trails of reasoning, scores every source on a credibility scale from 0 to 1, tracks coverage completeness, so you know if anything's missing, and then learns from itself and gets better over time. So you can see here it's now using the front-end developer agent to build out this project, and you can see it's just beginning to code that out directly here. And there's also 4 depth levels here as well. So you've got quick, standard, everyday research, deep, and exhaustive, right? So exhaustive is like over 40 minutes of academic level deep research. Pretty insane. And then you can just use that example to start going with this. There's also a bunch of MCP servers that you can add. So for example, like Tavily, Context 7, Serena, Playwright, Magic, which auto-generates UI components, MorphLM, so it's context aware, and Chrome DevTools for performance analysis and debugging. So if we have a look inside Claude Code, you can see that's beginning to work out right now. It was pretty simple and easy to set up. The main thing to note here is, like before Super Claude or without Super Claude, Claude Code works, but it's generic, no structure, no shortcuts, no experts, no memory, and you write long prompts every single time. With Super Claude, 2 to 3 times faster execution, 30 to 50% fewer tokens used, 16 expert agents working together automatically, 30 commands, web search, browser control, and memory docs all built in, and the best practices baked into every single action. So just to recap, Claude Code is an AI coding agent in terminal. Super Claude is a free framework that makes it 2 to 3 times more powerful. 30 commands helps save time, 16 AI agents specialized to activate automatically, 7 behavioral modes, 8 MCP servers, deep research. You can install it in 2 minutes like you've seen today. It is free to set up, and they've already got 21,000 stars on GitHub. So pretty awesome project right there. And you can see it's beginning to build out this project, as you can see. So that's basically it. If you want to get all the video notes from today, you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. As we've talked about, this is Super Claude, pretty cool and powerful framework that you can quickly install into Claude Code and just make it 10 times better. Inside the AI Profit Boardroom community, you'll learn how to save time, grow, and scale with AI automation. This is my community with 2,600 members, which means you can connect with some awesome people to learn, to grow, to make new friends, to meet people doing similar things to you. You can post questions, you can get help and support in real time. We actually have 4 weekly video coaching calls as well, so you can jump on these coaching calls and ask questions and share your screen and meet the community. You can also meet people in your local area by zooming into your location and then asking questions. Inside the classroom too, you can see here, for example, that we have all of our best training. So you can go from beginner to expert with AI automation and learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. Additionally, you'll get my best playbooks on how to automate X, newsletter, shorts, Instagram, AI avatar videos. And additionally, you'll get my latest SOP updates, right? So we update this community every single day. We add new updates. We create video tutorials on how they work and step-by-step guides on everything. And basically, what I'm doing is basically collecting all of the AI automations in the world and then saying, right, which are the most useful for you as an entrepreneur, right? Which ones can you start using right now? You can also, for example, watch about the coaching calls if you don't make them live over here. You can learn how to rank #1 with AI SEO. You can learn how to get more clients for your agency, or if you're a freelancer over here. And then also you can learn how to grow a YouTube channel with AI based on what's working for me directly inside there as well. So this is all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or just go to the iprofitboardroom.com and you can see that we actually have over 135 pages of testimonials. These are all wins from people inside our school communities, like you can see. So people are just getting awesome results, and that's what we're about, right? We're about helping people and helping people grow and learn about AI automation. So feel free to get that. Hope to see you inside there. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make Claude Code 100 times better in one single click using a new extension called the Free AI Dream Team, right? Basically, what it does is it turns your Claude Code into an agency using 61 specialists, and it's free to set up. So I'm going to show you exactly how it works. It's a free open source project on GitHub that just exploded to over 12,000 stars. It could completely change how you use tools like, for example, Claude, Cursor, and Gemini. And I'm going to break down everything you need to know, even if you've never touched GitHub before. All right. So this is the update, as you can see. And basically what it does is it gives Claude Code a bunch of AI specialists that they can start using. Now, if you want to get started with this, you can just copy this command into Claude Code. So let's get started with that. Open up a new window here and we'll run Claude Code. We'll paste that in, and Claude Code can set this all up for you, right? So you can see we've literally installed that straight away. It says your agents are installed and organized into categories. Here's what you have. So you have an engineering team and a design team, right? And plus you've got more agent specialists with marketing, product management, everything else, right? So these are basically skills that you install to your Claude Code or to Cursor as well. And basically what it does is it gives you an AI agency with like front-end developers. You've got, for example, agents for all sorts of specialists, as you can see, senior developers. There's a bunch of marketing agents as well inside there, which is pretty awesome. So for example, like a content creator, Instagram curator, Reddit community builder, all sorts of cool stuff right here, right? So now what we can do is we can say, okay, use a front-end developer agent to build out a new website. So let's test that out. I'm going to test this out for the AI Profit Boardroom, and we'll use this new agency team to build out a new website for the AI Profit Boardroom community, right? So I'm going to say create a new website for the AI Profit Boardroom, my AI automation community, using the content below, and make sure you use the front-end developer to build it. Stick to HTML as a simple landing page, copy below, and then I'll just add the copy from the website, and we'll see if it can build out something better than we've already got. Now, what you could actually do is you could have like multiple sessions open. So you could open up a new window here, and you could have Claude running agents for something else, right? So we could say, okay, do this, right? And you can see how it's using the Reddit community builder skill that we've installed. So you can see it's using that front end developer sub agent, and it's spawning one right there. to build out the website that we just asked it to create. Now you might be asking, okay, what is the agency? Like what's all this about? You know, the agency agents GitHub project. Well, basically think of it like this, right? Imagine walking into a building and picking from like 61 different experts, for example, like a front-end developer, a brand designer, or a Reddit marketing specialist, right? Each one knows exactly what they're doing. Each one has its own unique personality and style, and each one gives you like real actionable deliverables, right? And so that's what the agency is. So it's a collection of 61 agent files you can plug into tools like Claude Code, Cursor, Windsurf, Gemini, CLI, and more. And when you load one of these agents, your AI tool literally transforms into a specialist. So it's not like act like a developer. It's a deeply crafted personality with workflows, success metrics, code examples, and a specific communication style. Now, one thing I want to say before you install anything like this is I always check the skill MD files. You just want to be careful before you install anything external. I do it for fun to show you as experiments on YouTube. But if you're not sure about installing any of this, or you don't want to do it, etc., don't install it. Like, just watch my videos and learn from it. And also check the skill MD files. You can run them through Claude as well. You could even rewrite them yourself and then install them yourself instead. But the main thing is, like, just be careful when you do install skills to something like Claude Code. So for example, when you activate the front-end developer agent, for example, your AI suddenly knows React, Angular deeply. It follows a specific workflow for building UIs. It measures core web vitals, as a personality and voice that keeps things focused. And it's like going from a random intern or something like Claude Code straight out of the box to a senior specialist instantly. Right now, there's 9 divisions inside the team that you install. So the agency is organized into 9 departments, just like a real company. So you got like the engineering division, design division, and we've got the website ready to preview right here. So let's open this up. And you can also see inside the other window, we got the Reddit community builder to give us like a 30-day quick start plan, core principles, and also tools that we can use as well. So it's really interesting how it's built out. And I'm going to say open this up. So this is the new website that we built, and boom, we've got the new website right there. So it's created the full website, as you can see, FAQs, pretty nice setup, nice animation when it runs through the page. Super simple in the way that it's designed, but it looks nice, right? And so that was fully automated using that new agency team. Now, that was just a quick example, but there's so much more you could do with this. And if we actually compare it side by side, so exactly the same content, but look at the way that it's designed. So this is the original. This is the new version. So you see how it's got like a nice little banner at the top. It's designed nicely. It's got like these nice UI elements. The new version looks much better than the old version. This is the old version. This is the new version, right? Using that new agency setup with the specialist. So it's a pretty cool tool. You also got like a testing division support, specialized as well. And if you want to set it up, like I said, you can just go into Claude Code, give it that command. We've got the setup instructions inside the video notes from today in the AI profit boarding, but that's basically it. And then in terms of like real world examples, I've shown you how I built a new website using this agent team, but you could, for example, like activate 5 agents at once, and you could create like a new marketing campaign. So you can say, okay, content creator develops a campaign, Twitter engager handles the strategy, etc. So let's try that. So we're going to take this example use case here. We'll go back into the builder, and we're going to say, okay, now create a marketing campaign for the AI profit boardroom using the agency. And then we're going to stack 5 marketing agents together, right? So we're going to create multiple sub agents together that are working together inside Claude Code. And again, like, you don't need to be technical to use this. You're literally just speaking in plain language. It's really, really simple and easy to use. So it's now launching the content creator to develop the full campaign strategy. And it's launching all 5 agents in parallel right now. So it's set up the Twitter engager as well. And you can see how it's working step by step, right? Now, you might be thinking as well at this point, okay, what makes this different from, say, just using your normal workflows? Well, if you're using generic prompts that say, for example, like act like a developer, the agency gives you a developer with a personality, a process, code examples, a specific workflow, right? And prompt libraries that give you like one-off prompts you use once and forget. The agency gives you like a full agent system you can use and reuse forever, right? So it's a lot more specific. And if we just look at the numbers here, you can see how it works. And it works with 7 tools, right? So it supports Claude Code, Cursor, Windsurf, Ada, Open Code, and Anti-gravity. I did try setting this up inside OpenClaw as well, but with OpenClaw, it seemed to struggle. And it actually came back to me and said, like, it's not designed for this, right? So don't use it inside OpenClaw. So I think you could use it inside OpenClaw, but it wouldn't be as clean, and it'd be a lot more messy than using something like Claude Code, which you can see like formats it perfectly, works in just a couple of minutes, sets everything up really nicely, and it's organized it nicely too. So you got the agent team here, all working together, the status, the deliverables, so what it's going to do. So for example, like the Instagram curator will create 30 post concepts, some scripts, story strategy, etc. Pretty cool. So just to recap, the agency is a free collection of 61 specialist AI agents on GitHub. Each agent has a unique personality, workflow, deliverables, and metrics. It works with Claude Code, Cursor, Windsurf, Gemini CLI, Ada, Open Code, and Anti-gravity. There are 9 divisions. So you've got engineering, design, marketing, product, project management, testing, support, spatial computing, and specialized. You can set it up literally in one click, as I've done today. It's open source as well, so you can use it however you want. It has 12,000 stars on GitHub. Honestly, you don't pay too much. New Claude Code update is insane. So Claude can now work while you sleep. No, I'm not joking. Anthropic just dropped an update that turns Claude into a robot that codes on a timer. You set it once, walk away, and it just keeps going. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works, how to set it up in like 2 minutes, and the real use cases that are going to blow your mind. This is the biggest Claude update yet, and nobody is talking about it. So here's the problem. Every AI tool right now works the same way. You type something, it does something, you type again, it does something again. It's like having an employee who only works when you tap them on the shoulder every single time. That gets old fast, especially if you're a developer or you run a team or you just have stuff that needs to happen every single day without you thinking about it. What if I told you that's over now? Claude Code just launched something called scheduled tasks, and it changes everything. You give Claude a job, you tell it when to do that job, and then Claude just does it. Every hour, every morning, every Monday, whatever you want, you set it up once, and it runs on autopilot. Think about that for a second. That's not an assistant anymore. That's a worker. That's an autonomous agent sitting on your computer doing real work while you go live your life. Let me show you how this actually works. It's stupid simple. You open Claude Code on your desktop, you click schedule in the sidebar, you hit new task, then you fill in 4 things: a name, a description, the prompt you want it to run, and how often you want it to run. That's it. You click run now to test it, and boom, it shows up in your scheduled sessions panel. Done. Now here's the part that gets really fun. You don't even need to write fancy code to schedule things. You can literally type in plain English, something like run my tests every 6 hours, or check for bugs every morning at 9. Claude understands that. It just works. And when the time comes, here's what happens behind the scenes. The desktop app checks the schedule every minute. When it's go time, Claude launches a brand new session. It runs your prompt, and then it sends you a notification with the results. Every single run is a full Claude Code session. That means Claude can edit files, run commands, create commits, open pull requests, even use MCP tools and APIs. This is not some watered down version. This is the full thing running on a clock. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every single comment, so make sure you drop one below. All right, let me walk you through the scheduling options because they're really flexible. You've got manual, which means it only runs when you click it, hourly, which runs every hour, daily, which runs at a specific time, weekdays, which runs Monday through Friday, and weekly, which runs on a specific day and time. So if you want Claude to check your dependencies every Monday morning, done. If you want it to run tests at midnight every night, done. If you want a morning briefing at 8 a.m. on weekdays, done. You just tell it what to do and when. Now let me give you the use cases because this is where it gets insane. Number 1, automated bug fixing. You set Claude to scan your error logs every 4 hours. If it finds recurring errors, it figures out what's wrong. Then it creates a branch, writes the fix, and opens a pull request, all while you're eating lunch or sleeping or doing literally anything else. Number 2, automated PR review. Every morning, Claude reviews all the new pull requests in your repo. It reads the code, spots problems, leaves comments. Before your team even opens their laptops, Claude has already done the first pass. Number 3, dependency updates. Once a week, Claude checks your packages, finds anything outdated, updates them, and creates a pull request. No more forgetting to update stuff for 6 months and then everything breaks. Number 4, morning developer briefings. Every weekday at 8 a.m., Claude pulls together all the new GitHub issues, all the open pull requests, all the failing tests, and it creates a nice clean report so you know exactly what's going on before your first sip of coffee. Number 5, AI DevOps agent. Claude monitors your server logs, test results, and deployments, and it responds automatically. That's not a tool anymore, that's a team member. Now, if you want to go even deeper on stuff like this, and learn how to actually use AI to scale your business and automate your workflows, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. It's the best place to learn how to use tools like Claude Code to get more customers and save hundreds of hours with AI automation. Link is in the description and comments. All right, let me give you some actual prompts you can copy and use right now. Prompt 1, daily code review. You type this: every weekday at 9 a.m., review the latest commits in this repository, identify potential bugs or performance issues, write a summary report, and suggest improvements. That's it. Claude handles the rest. Prompt 2, automated bug fixing. Every 3 hours, scan the error logs in /logs. If any recurring errors appear, identify the root cause and attempt to fix them. If a fix is possible, create a branch and open a pull request. Imagine waking up and your bugs are already fixed. That's what this does. Prompt 3, morning developer briefing. Every weekday at 8 a.m., generate a summary of new GitHub issues, open pull requests, and failing tests. Create a developer briefing report. Your entire team starts the day knowing exactly what matters. Prompt 4, test automation. Every 6 hours, run the test suite. If any tests fail, diagnose the issue and propose a fix. Claude becomes your QA department on autopilot. Now, here's a few things you need to know before you go set this up, because there are some limitations and I want to be straight with you about them. First, your computer has to be awake. If your machine goes to sleep, the task gets skipped. But there's a nice little safety net. When your computer wakes back up, Claude can run one catch-up task to cover what it missed. And Anthropic also added an option where Claude can keep your computer awake to finish scheduled runs. So that's cool. Second, the desktop app has to be open. This is not cloud automation. Everything runs locally on your machine, so if you close the app, nothing happens. Third, each run counts against your usage. Every scheduled run is treated like a full Claude Code session, so keep that in mind when you're setting stuff to run every hour. Fourth, this works on Mac OS and Windows right now. Linux support for the desktop scheduled tasks is not available yet. Now, where does Claude actually store these tasks? Every scheduled task creates a folder on your machine. It goes in a hidden Claude directory under scheduled tasks with the task name. Inside that folder, there's a file called skill.md. That file has your task name, description, and prompt. If you want to tweak what Claude does on the next run, you just edit that file. Super clean, super simple. Here's why I think this matters more than people realize. AI has been reactive since the beginning. You ask, it answers. That's been the entire model. This update breaks that model. Claude doesn't wait for you anymore. It just works on a schedule in the background, doing real work. That's not an assistant. That's an autonomous developer. And we're only at the beginning of this. Right now, it's scheduled tasks on your desktop. But think about where this goes next. Cloud tasks, multi-agent coordination, AI teams that run projects without any human input at all. This is a huge shift. And if you're not paying attention to this stuff, you're going to fall behind fast. So let me recap. Claude Code now has scheduled tasks. You set a prompt, you set a schedule, Claude runs it automatically. It can fix bugs, review code, update packages, write reports, monitor systems, all on autopilot. The setup takes 2 minutes and the use cases are endless. Now, if you want the full process, SOPs, and over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Profit Boardroom. Learn how to automate your workflows with tools like Claude Code and scale your business with AI. The link is in the comments and description. And if you want free access to all the video notes, prompts, and a community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI, join the AI Success Lab. It's completely free. Link is in the comments and description. You'll get everything from this video plus way more in there. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below telling me what you'd schedule Claude to do first. Julian reads every single one. I'll see you in the next one. So today I'm going to show you 3 powerful ways that Claude Code is basically unstoppable with now, right? And there's been 3 new updates, huge updates really within the last sort of 7 days that make Claude Code more powerful than it's ever been, right? So these methods are, number 1, fast mode, which means that you can produce outputs 2.5 times faster inside Claude Code. Number 2 is persistent memory, so it can remember every session that you have previously if you set it up the right way, and I'll show you how to do that today. And then number 3 is that you can actually use agent teams, and you've got Opus 4.6 running inside there, right? So if we type in Claude inside the terminal here, we can select our model. And the first thing that I would recommend doing if you want to make sure Claude is as powerful as it can be is run Opus 4.6, right? This is the most powerful API that you can use for Claude Code. Once you've done that, Then you want to go into your settings, go to admin settings. This is only if you want the most powerful version of this, right? But you can use something called fast mode inside Claude Code, right? If we go to Claude Code here, I'm just going to enable fast mode. This is in research preview, but it allows you to run Claude Code 2.5 times faster than it would normally be, right? Which makes you 2.5 times more productive. So if we put /fast inside the chat here, we can now switch on fast mode. And if you just press up on the arrows and then press enter, we can now switch on fast mode. Again, this rinses tokens, so it's not it's not something you would have on all the time, but if you want to make it even more powerful, you can. So Opus 4.6 and then fast mode. From there, what we also want to do is make sure that we have persistent memory set up. This allows Claude Code to remember every session before, right? And the reason for that is, like, if you set up a project and then you want to run a new one, well, it's going to be super annoying if it doesn't remember anything that you worked on previously, because you would have to load in the old project, which takes up more tokens, consumes your time, and makes you less productive. Now, if you want to install this, literally all you do is you just go into Claude Code terminal and you would just say install this, right? I've got a full guide inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and from here you can install it. I've already installed this plugin, so if I say what did I work on earlier today in Claude Code, it should tell me, and then it can read through what we previously worked on right earlier today, which is pretty cool. So it's like, here's what's in today's sessions. We've also got Claude Memory as a web UI running in the background too. So if we scroll through here, we can see the console logs and we can see what happened previously. Now, the final thing that I'd recommend setting up is teams, right? So what you can do, I've got a full guide inside here, but basically with Claude agent teams, you can run multiple different agents at the same time. Now, if you're running them in fast mode with memory on Opus 4.6, then you've got a really powerful team of agents that can communicate to each other, talk to each other, etc. Right? So if I go inside the chat and the terminal here, and I'm like, right, okay, use agent teams to design 3 thumbnails at the same time. We can use the agent teams feature to assemble a team directly inside here, and then we can select between what type of thumbnails we want. So we want YouTube thumbnails. I'm going to click on surprise me, and then it says submit answers, so we'll go with that. And you can see it says, okay, great, 3 YouTube thumbnails, creative themes, all generated in parallel, right? Let me set up the team. So we're using fast mode, Claude Memory, Opus 4.6, and then agent teams directly inside Claude Code. And it's generating 3 different thumbnails. So you can make it like almost 5 times as productive, because you've got number 1, fast mode, which runs 2.5 times faster. And then number 2, multiple agents working on the same project at the same time, right? And it's actually finished all 3 thumbnails literally in one go. So if I say open them up, there we go. We've just created 3 thumbnails. I mean, they're not particularly good thumbnails. Like, I didn't give it a good prompt for improving them, but you can see how we quickly created those using Claude Code and the terminal right here, right? It's incredibly easy to set up. So that's basically how to make Claude Code way more powerful, way more productive, way faster than it previously was. And all of these are pretty much easy to set up. You know, if you want to set up any of these, you can just ask Claude Code how to set them up directly, or you can check out the guides inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you want to set up persistent memory, we have a full guide right here. If you want to set up agent teams, we also have a full guide here. And if you want to set up Claude Code fast, we have a full video tutorial on exactly how to use that as well inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Client Flow says, since Claude Code is so powerful, is OpenClaw still worth the effort of setting it up? I mean, number 1, OpenClaw is not hard to set up, right? I've set it up in 2 minutes on the live stream today. And number 2, like, if you prefer to use a messaging app to control AI rather than the terminal, then I would 100% say it's worth using it. But, you know, there's not much that Claude Code can't do that OpenClaw can do. So that's something to be aware of as well. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. It's available, link in the comments description, or go to aiprofitboardroom.com. Inside the community, you can ask questions, get help and support whenever you need it. And you can see there's so many people winning with AI inside here. So these are all the wins from the last 7 days. And you can see there's loads of cool stuff getting set up right here. Loads of people winning with this stuff. And then also we have a daily accountability group. So if you find this stuff overwhelming, or you get information overload, or, you know, it's a bit too much for you and you want to stay focused, this is the best way. Also, inside the classroom, you can jump on the 5-week AI automation masterclass and go from beginner to expert with AI in just 5 weeks, plus learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. You'll learn all of my best playbooks for how I automate my business, for example, for Shorts, YouTube, for X and Twitter, for AI avatar videos, etc. And then inside the classroom as well, you can get my best SOP updates on, for example, like OpenClaw or Moldbot. We have a full 6-hour course on OpenClaw. Additionally, you can learn how to set up all of these new updates that come out every day. So every day we update this daily. You can see, for example, on the 9th of Feb, we have 3 new updates inside the AI Profit Boardroom with new guides, etc. And then additionally, you can jump on weekly coaching calls. You can jump on these live video calls, these live Zoom sessions, share your screen, meet the community, get help, get support in real time. And additionally, you can learn how to get more clients with the agency course. You can learn how to rank #1 with AI SEO here, and you'll learn how to grow and scale a YouTube channel using the YouTube AI roadmap right there. So feel free to get that link in the comments description or go. So today we are going to be looking at how to use agent teams inside of Claude Code. So if you've never used Claude Code before, you can now actually use agent teams directly inside here to get started. We're going to get started on setting this up so that we can use agent teams to improve our projects. Now, the main benefit of this is that you can have a team of multiple agents coordinating and coding in parallel so that you can get tasks done better and faster, all right? So, for example, there's a big difference between sub-agents and agent teams, right? They own a context window. They can actually message each other. So you can have agents message each other directly. They can share the task list with coordination, and also, you know, if you've got like complex work that requires discussion and collaboration, then agent teams are probably going to be better than using sub agents. And also the token cost is higher, of course. So to set this up, we need to make sure that we've enabled Claude agent experimental teams. So let's get started right here. I'm going to open up the terminal. Let's escape from this. Just going to make sure we've got an agent teams enabled. You see it's actually looking at the agent teams documentation. There's 2 ways to do this. You can enable them by setting the code experimental agent teams environment variable to either this in your shell environment, also through your settings in JSON. All right. So you see we've enabled agent teams here. Now, one thing that I've also added is fast mode. Fast mode was literally just announced a few hours ago. It does cost 6 times more tokens than normal, so it's great for me to show you on a live stream. Wouldn't recommend enabling that normally unless you are really careful about your time and also you want to focus on productivity instead. All right, so we're going to allow this to edit the settings, so it can edit its own settings inside Claude Code here. And then let's say, for example, you've got a website. Like, for example, we actually built out a new version of the AI Profit Boardroom website, which is my AI automation community, and we've deployed that using this chat right here. All right, so if we go to this link, we have this website deployed from Claude Code, right? And this was built using Claude Opus 4.6 and fast mode inside Claude Code, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to use agent teams to improve this project. All right, so you see it says once we updated the settings, it says done. Agent teams are now enabled in your Claude settings JSON. You will need to restart Claude Code for the change to take effect. Once restarted, agent teams will let you coordinate multiple Claude Code sessions working together in parallel, useful for complex tasks, right? So we're gonna just restart Claude Code like so. We'll terminate this, then we'll open up this. Let's get Claude Code reinstalled. Now it's starting up again. And we'll say, okay, build out a new website for AI Profit Boardroom using agent teams. And we'll take the information for the AI Profit Boardroom here, plug that in, boom, there we go. All right. Now we're also using fast mode with agent teams. So, you know, if you compare pre-Opus 4.6 versus after Opus 4.6, a lot has changed. Number one, you've got a better API. Number two, you've got more context window with 1 million context window with Opus 4.6, whereas Opus 4.5 was just 200K. Token context window, right? Top of that, you get fast mode and you get agent teams. So a lot has changed with Claude Code, and it's crazy to see how much they're innovated with improvements like this. So I'm excited to see what we get back on this particular project. And you can see that we're now building out a to-do list here. It's going to create a team to build this out, right? So you can see it says, now let me set up the project directory and create a team to build this in parallel. Then it creates a task list and spawns some agents to work in parallel. Right, and we've got the team working on this project here. So this is the to-do list, and agents can work in parallel to work on this together, right? So they're going to work on these 3 tasks first, and then they're going to do this together at the end, deploy the site to production. Right? So you've got one agent that can build the HTML structure for the AI Profit Boardroom community. You've got another that can build the CSS styles for the AI Profit Boardroom, and then another that's going to add JavaScript interactivity. Now, you might be wondering as well, okay, why would you use agent teams? What is it useful for, etc.? Well, of course, like you can have them all working together in parallel. So it's great for like complex work. But number two, like there's a lot of use cases for this. So for example, if you enabled, like I have, Claude Code to actually create images or videos or that sort of thing, then let's say, for example, I create YouTube thumbnails every day. I could have a team of AI agents that work together and actually build out multiple thumbnails for the same video at the same time so that I can test them and also get them done faster. You can also see here that we've got 3 agents launched now. So we have the HTML builder, the CSS builder, and the JavaScript builder, right? And it actually shows you the agent, the task, and the status of the project. So here's a HTML builder. It completes HTML structure, and the status is building, right? So it's quite easy to see where we're up to and what we're doing with this. And you can also call these agents as well. So if you type in @CSS builder like this, you can speak to your agent like that. And you can see which agent is working on which task. I also like the fact that, it's very simple and easy to understand what's going on here, which is great. And you can get your project done a lot faster now too. Now, this is great, not just for building projects from scratch, but also for editing projects. So for example, if in a minute we wanted to add blog to the website with this agent team, we could do that too. You could have an SEO team that optimizes your site at the same time. You could have the thumbnail building team like I was talking about before. It could be, for example, competitive research, right? You could have like 3 agents working together to research different competitors and then compare the notes afterwards because they can message each other. So I've got a bunch of use cases inside the AR Profit Boardroom notes, as you can see right here, with a video tutorial on exactly how it works and the documentation. It could be like market research, that sort of thing. I think there's a few reasons you wouldn't use agent teams, right? So for example, if it was like a single video script, no point, right? Quick keyword research, absolutely no point. If it was just one file, if it was literally just one HTML file, probably no point as well. Right? And then also daily title generation for videos, that doesn't make sense. Simple Q&As doesn't make sense as well. Right? And then it's just very important to know that you have to enable inside your settings of Claude Code the agent teams feature before you can use this. And then also you have to restart Claude Code after you've enabled that inside your settings. So you can see now that we've finished all 3 tasks. All 3 agents have finished their tasks. And then what we're doing from here is deploying the site to production, which is doing it automatically. We're going to hit allow on that. And then we should be able to get this bad boy hosted. And you can see here, it says, good. I see the agents already cleaned up some of the inline on-click handlers. And now it's just writing a polished version of the HTML so that we can get this deployed. The other cool thing that you could do is you could actually go into Google Anti-gravity. And then if you go inside the terminal here, you could use agent teams and Claude Code inside Anti-gravity by calling it too. So we could go inside the terminal. Bear in mind, we've got Claude Code on the right and Anti-gravity on the left over here, if you're wondering what's going on. So if we type in Claude inside the terminal here, we can access Claude Code directly inside Anti-gravity too. And then we could combine the power of Claude Fast Mode, Claude Code, and Claude Opus 4.6 plus agent teams with anti-gravity as well, so that you can use this inside your IDE, which is pretty amazing. So this has completed all 4 tasks using the agent teams now. That took 6 minutes to build a whole website. It's shutting down the agent teams, like you can see, and we've got a full breakdown with a live URL of the deployed project via Claude Code. So if we open up a tab here, we've now got the new website deployed, like you can see. So here's the sign up page, here's the links to sign up, etc. If we click on the join now, that's the CTA to sign up. It's got nice FAQs. The website itself is designed nicely. And we did this using agent teams, plus it deployed it as well once it was ready. So it's a really powerful feature, helps you get projects done quicker. You get a nice little summary at the end once you've done it as well. And then it breaks down, okay, here's what we've done with each of the agents inside the project. So pretty amazing right there. If you want to get the notes on agent teams, get it inside the, this is my AI automation community focused on helping you save time, scale up, and grow with AI automation. It's a helpful, supportive community where we all raise each other up, we help each other learn, we share what's working for us. If you have any questions, you could post inside the community and get help and support whenever you need it. There's 2,300 members in here. There's 68 people online right now. There's people online pretty much all the time. So if you ever need technical support or help or that sort of thing, just post inside the community. We've also got a daily accountability group. So if you feel like things are overwhelming or you get information overload, or you struggle with shiny object syndrome, you can post your question. You can post your goals here and stay laser focused on achieving them. Who we got here? Gary says hello. Archero says hello. Good to see you here as well. Floyd says, can we access those agent team features on a pro plan of Claude? I think you can if you're using Claude Code. Yeah, I think you can. And then let's have a look here. Is it on the pro plan? It doesn't actually say, but I think it doesn't matter whether you're on the max or the pro plan. You can use agent teams as far as I'm aware, but it doesn't mention it on the actual website. And then if you want to jump on a live call, get help and support on a live video call or a Zoom call, you can see we have 4 weekly coaching calls. We actually have a map. So wherever you are in the world, we pretty much have someone. So you can see, for example, wherever you are, you can zoom in on your local area, DM people in your local area, message them, hey, you want to jump on a Zoom call, or do you want to meet up in real life, etc. And also inside the classroom here, we have all of our best trainings. Now, we update these SOP updates every single day. So for example, we have a 4-6 hour course on how to use OpenClaw. If you want to learn how to use Claude fast, we've got a full section here, Codex, etc. As soon as something comes up, I number one, create a video about it, and number two, create a step-by-step guide. And then I put all of that information inside the AI Profit Boardroom to help you as much as possible. All right. So this is something that constantly evolves, and I evolve this community with it. Right. Top of that, you can learn how to go from beginner to expert with AI automation in just 5 weeks. Plus, you learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. Additionally, you will learn all of my best playbooks on how to automate Twitter, newsletters, shorts, avatar videos, screen shares, etc., using the information that works for me. You can also learn how to get more agency clients with the agency course. If you miss the coaching course, you can watch them back. And also, if you want to rank #1 with AI SEO, you can check that out here. Plus, you can learn how to grow a YouTube channel there directly as well. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it as always. I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye. So we have another brand new update from Anthropic as have launched fast mode for Claude Opus 4.6. This is a brand new experimental version just released on February the 7th, first for developers via Claude Code and a limited API preview. Okay, it's built for urgent tasks and it's basically helping you improve your productivity. So you can see here, for example, Claude have announced our teams have been building with a 2.5x faster version of Claude Opus 4.6. We're now making it available as an early experiment via Claude Code and our API. Right? And fast mode is more expressive to run. It's for urgent high stakes projects, combining impressive speed with Opus level intelligence. You can see up the instructions right here, and it shows you exactly how to toggle fast mode on, like you can see. And then we can start using this inside Claude Code. Now, this is in research preview. That means this may change. It's in the early stages, but you can use Opus 4.6 with fast mode. The other thing to be aware of is, of course, if you use fast mode, if you're using like 2.5x more tokens in the same amount of time, you got to be a little bit more careful with that, right? So what you can do over here is, if you want to start running this, I haven't tested it out before, but because it's brand new, but let's try it out together. So we're going to go into Claude Code inside the terminal. Let's run this bad boy now. Smith says, greetings. Anti-gravity is awesome. Absolutely is. Welcome here, sir. You can see that we can start running this now. Now, if we type in toggle fast, right, we can toggle the fast mode for Opus 4.6. So what you do is you make sure you have Claude Code installed. And then once you've got Claude Code installed, you're going to type in /fast, right? With /fast, you can toggle fast mode. And this should be way quicker than the original version of Claude Code. So if we actually pull these up aside, and one thing as well you have to do is make sure you've enabled fast mode as well, it looks like. So you see here, it says high speed mode for Opus 4.6, builders extra usage. Fast mode has been disabled by your organization. That's interesting. It looks like you have to enable it. Let's see. Your account must have extra usage enabled. And I'm just going to go inside the chat here and say how to enable fast mode. There we go. All right, enable fast mode for your conversation. So you can enable it inside the console and inside Claude AI. So let's try this out. We're going to go over to Claude AI here. We'll go to admin settings and then admin settings, Claude Code. There we go. So it's on the left-hand side here. And then we have to enable fast mode here. So that wasn't very obvious, but we have to enable it inside our settings. So you just go to Claude. If you're on a plan like I am, a team plan, then you go to Claude AI, go to your settings, go to Claude Code, and enable fast mode like so. Once you've done that, we're just going to reopen Claude Code. So I'm going to shut down the terminal, open this back up, add this back in, and then let's try this again. Boom, shakalaka. All right. So we're in the game here. Now you can see there's quite a big difference here for the extra usage. So this does come with a premium rate, so just be careful with that. But if you need to get stuff done fast and you value, your time more than anything, then this might be a good way to move forward. So what we can actually do here is just have a look at the speed of fast mode versus, let's say, the same API directly on OpenRouter or something like that, right? So we'll go over to OpenRouter here. Or in fact, you know what? We could take Anti-gravity with Opus 4.6 and see the difference in speed between two different APIs, right? So we'll use Claude Code fast mode on the right-hand side over here, and then we'll use Google Anti-gravity on the left-hand side using Opus 4.6. If you don't already know, the Opus 4.6 is inside Anti-gravity. There you go, my friends. You just learned something new today, as well as fast mode. And we're going to plug in the same prompt directly inside both of these, and then we'll see how much faster Opus 4.6 is in reality. All right, using fast mode. So we've got fast mode over here, and then we've got normal mode over here, both using Opus 4.6. Anti-gravity, Claude Code. All right, and also it'd be interesting to see if there's much difference in the quality of the design as well. Bear in mind, they've probably both got like different processes for coding, because Anti-gravity has like pre-installed skills, pre-installed agents, pre-installed workflows, etc. So maybe it will take longer, or maybe the results will be totally different. But I'm excited to try both of them anyway and see what we get. Also, if we go back to Claude inside our settings here, we can also check our usage. So if we have a look here, this is our current session. We've used 18%, resets for the weekly soon. And if we refresh this, it's not changed too much. Nice. All right, so we're going to create the index HTML here. That's going to allow that. Let's see where we're up to with Anti-gravity. This is beginning to create the website too. Smith says, I'm vibe coding right now. There we go. It's not about the prompt, it's about the vibe. Let's keep going now. I don't know if anyone's seen that meme, but it's pretty funny. Anyway, we've got both of these side by side, writing. Wow, this seems way faster. So you see it says, now let me deploy it. I mean, 2.5x speed is ridiculous, isn't it, really? Yeah, it's created the full website now, and the website is live. That was so fast. What on earth? Boom, look at that. We just got a whole website. That was insane. Look at that. Anti-gravity is still thinking about it, still creating the CSS, etc. Claude Code with fast mode is just built out a beautiful website. And if we have a look at my original AI Profit Boardroom website versus this one, let's have a look. I mean, they both pretty much look the same, right? They're both at the same sort of level. Obviously, we need to embed the video at the top, but I didn't tell Claude Code to do that originally. And bear in mind, like, Anti-gravity hasn't even created the CSS yet, whereas Claude Code with fast mode is already fully deployed the website on a subdomain using Skillboss. That is insanely quick, insanely quick. Just got to be careful with tokens, like I said. But if we go back to our token usage on Claude AI here, we'll refresh the page. Bear in mind, previous to this, it was at 4% used and 18% used. Let's refresh the page and see where we're at. 4% and 18%, so not too bad. So it's not really used too much there. That's pretty good. And then let's see what we got here. So we got Carbon Shock, who says, I'm building a complete AI ERP and it's saving implementation. I control everything, run a local model to be self-sustaining. Nice, man. It's interesting to see what other people are building. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. I mean, just look at this. Like, this not Anti-gravity is barely even got going here. It's barely you're literally moving what, maybe 2, 3, 5 times as slow at this point if you're using Anti-gravity Opus 4.6 versus fast mode inside the code here. So pretty amazing stuff. Pretty amazing stuff. Now, if you want to get the full details on fast mode, how to use it, how to set up, etc., what I've actually done is inside the AI Profit Boardroom, if you go to Claude Fast over here, you've got the full link to Claude Code's guide on it, how to use it, etc. there. And then also just to recap, okay, Claude Fast just dropped as a research preview, is a high-speed configuration for Opus 4.6 that delivers 2.5x faster output token generation, but of course it comes at a cost. What it is, so fast mode runs the same Opus 4.6 model, but with a faster inference configuration. So you get identical intelligence capabilities, but you get much faster output speed, right? If you can move 2 times faster or 2.5 times faster, isn't that worth it? Probably, right? And it's not a dumbed down model. It has the same weight, same behavior. It's just optimized for speed. As you saw today with the website that we deployed using the fast mode of Opus 4.6, like here, right? Pretty easy to create that website. It's crazy fast, crazy fast. The key stats. So speed, up to 2.5 times higher output tokens per second. The mode is Claude Opus 4.6 only. The focus is output speed, not timed to first token. And the status is research preview with limited availability. You got to make sure you enable it inside your settings first, like you saw today. And then also you can see here fast mode costs 6 times standard Opus rates. That is madness. That is absolute madness. See, it costs 6 times more apparently to use Opus. Is that right? Let me just double check there. Pascal says, sure, it charges as extra usage. Yep. Not against my regular max. Yes. So Claude double checked it for us. You can see it's investigated it right there. Yes, Claude fast mode costs 6 times standard Opus rates. That is insane. All right. Now, if we go back to here, you can see the context window output. I think there is 50% off apparently until February the 16th. I didn't know that. And then if you want to use it, just go inside Claude Code and press /fast to get access to it. Carbon Shock says 6x. Yes, that is madness. That is complete madness. So that's how to use Claude Fast. If you haven't checked it out already, this is inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you want to get the notes from today and all of my best trainings for using Claude Code, you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, available at aiprofitboardroom.com. Inside the community, you can ask any questions that you have. You can get help and support whenever you need it. We have people online all the time. So if you post a question, you'll get questions answered pretty quickly. Like, for example, Derek posted 7 minutes ago. It's already got posted right there. You can join the accountability group if you struggle with overwhelm or information overload or shiny object syndrome, so you can stay 100% focused and accountable to your goals for today. Also, you can see inside the calendar, you can jump on 4 weekly coaching calls to get help and support whenever you need it. And also inside the classroom here, you can go from beginner to expert with AI automation in just 5 weeks. So you'll learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. Plus, inside the classroom here, we have all my best playbooks on Twitter automations, newsletters, shorts, Instagram, AI avatar videos, etc. You can also get my latest updates. So we update this AI Profit Boardroom daily. It's not just like it's not like one of those schools where you log in and it's not been updated for 8 weeks. We literally add new updates every single day inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and I share everything that I learned with video tutorials plus step-by-step guides like you can see. Also, you can learn how to get more clients using the agency course, and you can learn how to rank #1 with AI SEO, plus get my YouTube AI breakdown right there. All right. Pascal says, check your extra usage to see how much it used. You look to your regular plan usage. This charges the extra usage. Okay, let's have a look here. How do we get access to extra usage? So we got current session. Let's have a look here. Claude extra usage. Navigate to settings, usage, locate the extra usage section. I can't see it unless it means that one. And then we've used extra there. Maybe that's it. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one, peeps. Cheers. Bye-bye. Claude Code just dropped something wild. Agent Swarm is here. Multiple AI agents working together like a real team. They talk to each other, share tasks, and coordinate automatically. This changes everything about AI automation. Let me show you how this actually works. So Claude Code just released Agent Swarm, and this is honestly one of the biggest updates I've seen in AI automation this year. We're talking about multiple Claude agents working together simultaneously on complex tasks. Not just one agent doing one thing, a whole team of AI agents collaborating like actual employees. Now, before I dive into exactly how this works, let me explain why this matters. When you're running a business, you've got multiple things happening at once. You might need to analyze data while someone else writes content while another person builds out your systems. Usually with AI tools, you're stuck doing one thing at a time, or you're manually coordinating between different tools. Agent Swarm changes that completely. You can now have one Claude agent handling your customer research, another one building your email sequences, and a third one optimizing your landing pages, all at the same time, all coordinated, all working toward the same goal. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. Let me break down what Agent Swarm actually is. It's a system inside Claude Code that lets you run multiple Claude instances together. Each agent gets its own specific task. But here's where it gets interesting. These agents can communicate with each other, they can share information, they can pass tasks back and forth. And there's a central management system that keeps everything organized. Think of it like managing a real team, except your team works at AI speed and never needs sleep. Here's what makes this different from just opening multiple Claude tabs. With Agent Swarm, the agents are actually aware of each other. Agent 1 can send a message to Agent 2 saying, hey, I finished the customer analysis. Here's what I found. Can you use this to write the email sequence? And Agent 2 receives that, processes it, and gets to work. You're not copying and pasting between windows. You're not manually coordinating. The system handles it. Now, let me show you a real example of how you'd use this for something like growing the AI profit boardroom. Let's say I want to create a complete customer acquisition system. I need market research, landing page copy, email sequences, and social media content. Normally, this would take me hours of back and forth with AI tools. With Agent Swarm, here's how it works. Agent 1 gets the task, analyze our target audience for the AI profit boardroom, find their pain points, their goals, what keeps them up at night. This agent digs through data, looks at competitor communities, identifies exactly who we're serving. Agent 2 gets the task, using the research from Agent 1, write compelling landing page copy that speaks directly to those pain points and shows how AI automation solves their problems. Agent 3 gets the task, create a 5-email welcome sequence that nurtures new members and gets them to take action immediately. Agent 4 gets the task, generate social media posts that highlight the community benefits and drive traffic to the landing page. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Claude Code. The link is in the comments and description. All 4 agents start working simultaneously. Agent 1 finishes the research and automatically passes the insights to the other agents. They don't wait for you to manually transfer information, they just get it and keep moving. Agent 2 uses that research to write copy that actually resonates because it's based on real data about what our audience needs. Agent 3 builds emails that reference the same pain points and solutions, keeping everything consistent. Agent 4 creates posts that match the messaging across all the other content, and you're watching this happen in real time through the central management dashboard. Here's where it gets even better. You can give the entire swarm a high-level goal, and they'll figure out how to divide the work. You don't have to micromanage every single task. For example, you could tell the swarm, create a complete launch campaign for our new AI automation course in the AI Profit Boardroom. The swarm looks at that goal and automatically decides, okay, we need research, we need positioning, we need sales copy, we need email sequences, we need ads, we need social content. Then it assigns different agents to handle each piece. This is what I mean by coordination. The agents aren't just working in parallel, they're working together strategically. Now, let me talk about the technical setup because this is actually simpler than you might think. Claude Code runs in your terminal. You install it once and it integrates with your development environment. For Agent Swarm, you're basically telling Claude Code to spin up multiple instances instead of just one. You create a configuration file that defines what each agent does. You give each agent a name, a role, and specific instructions. Then you define how they communicate with each other. The syntax is straightforward. You're not writing complex code. You're essentially describing your team structure in plain language. Here's a practical example of how you'd set this up for the AI Profit Boardroom. Agent name, research agent, role, audience analysis. Task, identify pain points and opportunities for AI automation in small businesses. Agent name, content agent, role, copywriting. Task, create persuasive content that converts visitors into community members. Agent name, technical agent, role, implementation. Task, build landing pages, set up automation, handle technical execution. Agent name, strategy agent, role, coordination. Task, oversee the entire process and make sure everything aligns with our growth goals. You save that configuration, run one command, and boom, your agent swarm starts working. The interagent messaging is where things get really powerful. Let's say the research agent discovers that our target audience is struggling with manual data entry and wants to automate their workflows. That agent sends a message to the content agent with that specific insight. The content agent receives it and immediately adjusts the landing page copy to emphasize how the AI Profit Boardroom teaches workflow automation that eliminates manual data entry. The technical agent gets looped in and makes sure the landing page has examples of workflow automation front and center. The strategy agent monitors everything and makes sure the messaging is consistent across all touchpoints. This happens automatically. You're not playing traffic cop between different AI conversations. Now, here's something most people miss about Agent Swarm. It's not just about speed, it's about quality. When you have specialized agents focused on specific tasks, they get better at those tasks. The research agent isn't trying to also write copy and build pages, it's laser focused on research. So it goes deeper, finds better insights, and delivers higher quality analysis. Same with the content agent, it's not distracted by technical implementation or strategy, it's just writing the best possible copy based on the research it receives. This specialization means each piece of your project gets expert-level attention. And because the agents share information automatically, there's no loss of context. Everything stays connected. Now let's talk about the centralized management system, because this is what keeps everything from becoming chaos. The management system gives you a dashboard where you can see what each agent is doing, what tasks are complete, what's in progress, and where there might be issues. You can pause agents, reassign tasks, or jump in and give new instructions without stopping the entire swarm. If you notice the content agent is creating copy that's a bit off tone, you can give it specific feedback and it adjusts immediately while the other agents keep working on their tasks. This level of control means you're never locked into whatever the AI decides. You're orchestrating a team, not just watching automation run wild. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Claude Code. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100 plus AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 45,000 members who are crushing it with AI. The link is in the comments and description. New Claude Code agent update is insane. Claude Code just dropped something absolutely wild. Agent teams, multiple AI agents working together like a real dev team. This is not a drill. Your workflow is about to get supercharged. Let me show you why this changes everything. So Anthropic just released agent teams for Claude Code. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is absolutely insane. We're talking multiple AI agents working together on the same project. They communicate with each other, they share tasks, they solve problems independently. This is like having an entire development team, but it's all AI. Let me explain what this actually means. Before this update, you had Claude Code working solo. It was powerful, sure. But now you can spawn an entire team of agents. A lead agent manages everything. It creates teammates, it assigns tasks, it coordinates the whole operation. Each agent has its own context and can work independently while still communicating with the team. This is a complete game changer for complex projects. Here's what makes this different from regular sub-agents. Sub-agents are like assistants. They do one thing and report back. Agent teams are different. They're independent. They can message each other directly. They share a task list. They handle dependencies automatically. One agent can be working on the front end, while another debugs the back end, while a third reviews security. All at the same time, all coordinated. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. Think about what this means for your business. Let's say you're building a new landing page for the AI Profit Boardroom. Instead of one agent doing everything, you spawn a team. One agent focuses on conversion optimization, another handles the design and layout, a third works on the copy and messaging, a fourth checks mobile responsiveness. They all work together, they communicate, they solve problems faster than any single agent could. The way it works is actually pretty simple. You enable it with one environment variable, then you just prompt the lead agent like you're talking to a project manager. You say something like, create a team to build an email automation system for AI Profit Boardroom members. We need someone on workflow design, someone on email templates, and someone on testing. The lead agent immediately spawns the team and starts coordinating. Each agent gets assigned tasks. The tasks have dependencies. So if one agent needs to finish something before another can start, the system handles that automatically. You can watch it all happen in real time. There's two ways to view it. You can use in process mode, where you switch between agents with keyboard shortcuts, or you can use split panes with tmux or iTerm2 and see all the agents working at once. It's like watching a dev team collaborate, but it's all happening on your screen. Let me walk you through a real example. Say you want to create a comprehensive onboarding system for new AI Profit Boardroom members. This is complex. You need welcome emails, tutorial videos, resource documents, and a tracking system. That's a lot for one agent. But with teams, you prompt the lead, build a complete onboarding system for AI Profit Boardroom, spawn a team with specialists in email sequences, content creation, automation workflows, and analytics tracking. Boom. The lead creates 4 agents. The email specialist starts building the welcome sequence. The content creator works on the tutorial outline. The automation expert sets up the workflows. The analytics person builds the tracking dashboard. They're all working simultaneously. And here's the crazy part. They're messaging each other. The email specialist asks the content creator what topics to cover. The automation expert checks with analytics about what to track. It's real collaboration. And speaking of collaboration, if you want to learn how to save time and automate your entire business with AI tools like Claude Code agent teams, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where we teach you exactly how to implement these cutting-edge AI systems into your business. No fluff, just practical automation that actually works. We're using these exact tools to scale our operations, and you can too. Link is in the description. Now let's get back to these agent teams because it gets even better. The task management system is brilliant. Every task goes through 3 states: pending, in progress, completed. The lead agent can assign tasks or teammates can claim them themselves. Dependencies are automatic. If task B needs task A to finish first, the system won't let anyone start task B until task A is done. No confusion, no wasted effort, just pure efficiency. You can switch between agents using shift, plus up or down arrows. So if you want to see what the email specialist is doing, you switch to them. You want to check on the automation expert, switch again. It's seamless. And if you're using split panes, you don't even need to switch. You just look at the different panes and see everyone working at once. Now let's talk about real use cases, because this is where it gets practical. Imagine you're debugging a complex issue with your AI automation system. Instead of one agent trying everything, you create a team with 3 different debugging approaches. One agent investigates the data flow, another checks the API connections, a third examines the error logs. They work in parallel, they share findings through messages. You find the bug 3 times faster. Or let's say you're building a new feature for your content generation system. You want to make sure it's perfect. You create a team with a developer, a security specialist, and a performance optimizer. The developer builds it. The security specialist checks for vulnerabilities. The performance optimizer makes sure it runs fast, all happening at the same time, all coordinated. The final product is way better than what one agent could build alone. Code reviews are another perfect use case. You have one agent review for security issues, another agent reviews for performance bottlenecks, a third agent checks code quality and best practices. They each bring different perspectives. They each catch different issues. Your code quality goes through the roof. Here's what I love about this. For business automation, let's say you're creating a complete lead generation system for the AI Profit Boardroom. This involves landing pages, email sequences, chatbots, analytics, and integration with your CRM. That's massive. One agent would take forever and probably miss things, but with a team, you assign each component to a specialist. The landing page agent focuses on conversion. The email agent crafts sequences that nurture leads. The chatbot agent creates conversational flows. The analytics agent sets up tracking. The integration agent connects everything to your CRM. It all gets done faster and better. The agents communicate through a mailbox system. They can send direct messages to each other. So if the landing page agent needs to know what fields the CRM requires, it messages the integration agent. If the email agent wants to coordinate with the chatbot agent on messaging consistency, they message directly. It's like Slack for AI agents, and it works incredibly well. Now, I need to be real with you about some limitations because this is still experimental. First, it uses more tokens. Each agent has its own context. They're all running simultaneously. That means more API calls, more tokens consumed. It's more expensive than using a single agent, but for complex projects, it's worth it because of the time saved and quality gained. Second, the tmux or iTerm2 setup can be a bit tricky if you're not familiar with terminal multiplexing. The in-process mode is easier, but you can't see all agents at once. The split pane mode is amazing for visibility, but requires some setup. Not a deal breaker, just something to know. Third, this is experimental. That means it might have bugs, it might change. Anthropic is still testing and improving it, but from what I've tested, it's already incredibly powerful, and it's only going to get better. Here are my best practices after testing this extensively. First, be specific with your initial prompt to the lead agent. Tell it exactly what kind of team you need and what each specialist should focus on. The more specific you are, the better the team performs. Second, use delegate mode, hit Shift plus Tab, and let the agents work autonomously. They'll claim tasks and coordinate without you micromanaging. Third, plan approval is your friend. Have the lead agent create a plan first, review it, make sure the team structure makes sense, then approve and let them execute. Fourth, keep task sizes reasonable. Don't create tasks that are too big or too vague. Break things down. The agents work best with clear, specific tasks. Fifth, use the messaging system. Encourage agents to communicate. That's where the magic happens. When they share context and coordinate, the results are way better. And if you're serious about AI automation, you need to jump on this now. Check out the AI Success Lab for the complete breakdown and community support. And check out the AI Profit Boardroom for the full training. And most importantly, go test agent teams yourself. Build something, break something, learn, iterate. That's how you master this stuff. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you want more AI updates like this. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. And I'll see you in the next video where we break down even more cutting-edge AI tools that are transforming how we work. Let's go. Claude Opus 4.6 versus GPT Codex 5.3. Who wins? Today we're going to be testing them out. So both of these new updates, one from Anthropic and one from OpenAI, were both released at the same time, right? And you can see the benchmarks here, and you can see the GPT 5.3 is nowhere near on the benchmarks because it was just released literally at the same time Opus 6 was released. So you can see here, this is GPT 5.3 Codex, and on the benchmarks, Codex actually wins. But what we're going to do today is we're going to test them side by side and see who performs the best, which one creates the best content. We got Brap here, who's first on the comment. Shout out to Brap, and we're going to get straight into this, all right? So I'm going to use some prompts from the AI Success Lab, which is a free community, link in the comments description, or just ask ChatGPT for Julian Goldie's AI Success Lab. This connects you 52,000 members. We'll be testing out directly some of these prompts to see which one performs the best, all right? So we're going to grab this one like so. We are going to go over to the chat inside Open Router, and then we can compare them side by side, all right? So we're going to use 4.6 over here, and then we'll use Codex 5.3 if it's inside there, which it doesn't seem to be. So what we'll do instead is we will run them side by side inside Codex and Opus. So let's do that instead. So we've got Codex on the right hand side, and then we have Opus on the left hand side. So let's plug in this prompt. We're just going to switch over here to 4.6. There we go. And we'll run the same prompt inside both and see which one performs the best. So you can see they're beginning to code out. This is for the first test, which is build a hyperdopamine Pong game. So we'll see how they perform. What we got on the questions here? So we got G, who says, but about Gemini 3.0 Pro, honestly, I don't think it's in the race at this point. Victor says, hey, good to see you here. Whilst we're waiting for those in the meantime, let's see how they compare on the actual stats. So if we go to models over here, and we'll have a look at Opus 4.6. And you can see it does have a million context window. These are some of the things that have been developed by Codex 5.3. If actually compare, we can see GPT 5.2 versus 5.3. Looks very similar, to be honest, in the way that it's coded out. She says, oh, okay. Glad we agree. And it looks like 5.3 has finished first, just by a marginal fraction. But we have the preview of Claude Opus 4.6 here, so let's try this out. Just make sure this is muted. Hyperpunk synthwave version. There we go. So you have to control both sides, which doesn't make any sense. All right, it is a bit mad. It is a bit mad, but I don't know why it's made it so that I have to play both sides. So it doesn't make sense. Should be me against the computer, right? All right, so that is Opus. Looks pretty cool. I'm just going to switch over to the code because it's going crazy. Let's have a look at the GPT Codex one. Also open this up. Should be able to use this inside a browser. Here we go. So this is the one from GPT 5.3. See, like that's actually got us playing against each other. It's not very smooth though. If you look at this one over here, look how non-smooth this is. I would say the Claude Opus one was a lot more exciting, but at the same time, this is a smarter move because there's no way on a laptop you're going to play like two different people playing each other, right? So that didn't really make sense from Opus. So I'm going to say that Codex won just about, purely because number one, is a nice game, but number two, you've actually got a playable character on each side, which is better. But both of them are pretty nice. All right, so ChatGPT Codex 5.3 Opus 4.6 0. Let's try something else now. So we're going to try creating a Space Invaders game. So we're going to take that. We'll go back to both of these. When are we going to see something useful, Rap says, where they can consume blueprints and build out the back end in GitHub? Actually, I mean, like they can open GitHubs pretty easily right now. So for example, like earlier today, I got Claude Code to install OpenClaw, and the same with ChatGPT 5.3. Actually, for that test, Claude Code 1 with Opus 4.6, whereas with 5.3, it couldn't figure out how to use 5.3 inside OpenClaw, and the whole thing broke. So for that individual test, for loading a GitHub, we actually saw that Claude beat ChatGPT 5.3. Took them both ages to set up, by the way. Saw some pretty crazy stuff on X as well. So, for example, like people one-shot in multiplayer games. Look at that. How crazy is that, right? But some of them take like hours to create. So, for example, I think someone actually created Pokemon with Opus 4.6. It looks super impressive, but it took like 8 hours. You see another one here side by side. So this is a tweet by Vineet. And you can see that you've got Opus 4.6 versus 5.3. Both of them one shot at it, which is pretty crazy. So let's go back here. So we got the game ready. 5.3 is still thinking. Opus has already finished. Let's try this out. Pretty nice. Nice game. Let's try out this. So I'm going to say open this up. And here we've got 4.5. It's got sound effects as well. Honestly, I would still say that Opus 4.6 didn't perform as well. The game was less playable versus the game from GPT Codex 5.3. I'd be interested to know. Let me know in the comments which one you think is better. So this is Opus 4.6. This one over here. And this is ChatGPT 5.3. Right? Or GPT Codex 5.3. But you can see it's less playable, this one, like it's a lot harder. Whereas this one, you can play it for a lot longer. And it just feels nicer to use. The other thing that I was going to say here that's quite interesting is if you are using Claude Code, this is something that I've only seen Claude be able to do so far. You can do something called agent teams, right? And what that means, I've got a full guide inside the AI Profit Boardroom here. What that means essentially is you can conduct like one task and give it to multiple agents to work on in parallel, right? So you see a bunch of use cases for this. So for example, you can say like, oh, I've got 20 video scripts. Here's what I want you to do. I've got a piece of content. Here's what I want you to do, right? Let me show you an example. So if we take this one and we'll say create an agent to analyze my top 10 performing videos, spawn 3 teammates, blah, 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 have them debate and create a playbook document. And then we'll say, actually, just do one video script, see below. And I'll just do this as a demo. So if we take that copy like so, plug it into Claude Code, and we just have to make sure we're using Claude. And then you can create a team of agents to work together, which is pretty cool. The only problem with that is that if you've got multiple agents working on the same task, the biggest issue with that is it will use up a lot of tokens, right? And it's not a cheap API, as most people know watching this. So that's something to watch out for, but it's a unique feature that only Claude has. Now, overall, I would say that I am going with, I would still say I'd prefer Claude overall, right? The reasons for this, number one, Claude Code is just so much nicer to use than Codex OS. Number two, you can use agent teams, which I think could be really powerful. So for example, I could have multiple agents creating multiple thumbnails at the same time. And number three, I just think that Claude is still like a lot more sentient, particularly if you're using something like OpenClaw or ClaudeBot. So overall, I'm going to go with Claude personally, but I'd be interested to know inside the comments, like, do you prefer ChatGPT Codex? Are you switching to Claude Opus 4.6? Are you using either of them or just going to stick with some of the older models that are cheaper, etc.? I'd be very interested to know. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to everything that I've covered today, you can get the video notes for the comparison tests inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comment description. This connects you with 52,100 members. And if you just type in the top like this, you can get access to all the prompts and the templates that I tested today for free. All right. Along with all my training, as you can see on the left-hand side right here. Now, if you want to get my AI automation community that shows you how to save time, scale with AI, and grow, then you can check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is an amazing community where you can ask questions, get help, get support whenever you need it. You can share your wins, etc. And also inside here, you can jump on 4 weekly coaching calls a week. So you can jump on these coaching calls, get live help on a Zoom call. And also if you miss them, you can watch them back inside the classroom right here. Additionally, you can learn how to go from complete beginner to expert with AI in just 5 weeks. Plus you learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, You'll get my best playbooks for AI avatar videos, how I automate shorts, how I automate my emails, how I automate Instagram, etc. And that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom, along with my agency course on how to get more clients and how to rank #1 with AI SEO and how to grow a YouTube channel from scratch. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, bye-bye. New Claude AI video update is insane. Claude just got video superpowers. You type a prompt, it builds the whole video, no editing, no timeline, just pure AI magic. This changes everything for content creators. I'm testing it live right now. You won't believe what happens next. All right, let's talk about something crazy. Claude Code can now make videos, real videos, professional videos, the kind you'd normally spend hours building in Premiere or Final Cut, except you don't touch an editor. You just type what you want. And Claude builds it. I'm talking animations, transitions, text effects, audio, everything. This is Remotion's new agent skills integration, and it just dropped in January 2026. Here's why this matters. Most AI video tools give you templates, you pick a style, you swap some text, you get generic content. But with Remotion and Claude Code, you get pixel level control. You can build custom animations, you can sequence clips exactly how you want, you can add your own fonts, colors, brand elements. It's like having a video developer on demand. And the best part, you control it all with simple prompts. No code, no technical knowledge. Just tell Claude what you want. Let me show you how this works. First, you need to install the Remotion skill. Open your terminal and run this command. npx skills add Remotion dev skills, skill Remotion. That's it, one command. Now, Claude Code has all the knowledge it needs about Remotion. It knows how to build animations. It knows how to sequence clips. It knows how to handle assets and transitions. Next, create a new Remotion project. Run npx create video latest. Install the dependencies with npm install, and now you're ready to build. Here's where it gets fun. You can prompt Claude Code to create entire video compositions. Let's say you want a promotional video for the AI Profit Boardroom. You could say something like this. Create a 30-second explainer video for the AI Profit Boardroom. Show animated text highlighting our AI automation community. Add smooth transitions between scenes. Include benefits like save time, automate tasks, grow your business, make it professional and modern. Claude Code takes that prompt and builds the entire video structure. It writes the React code, it sets up the animations, it handles the timing, it creates the composition, and you can preview it instantly with npx Remotion preview. If you want changes, just tell Claude. Make the text fade in slower. Add a 3D transition between the first and second scene. Change the background color to match our brand. Claude updates the code in real time. When you're happy with it, render the final video, run npx Remotion render, and you get a high-quality MP4 file, ready to upload, ready to share, ready to convert. Think about what this means for your content workflow. You need a YouTube intro, prompt it. You need product demo videos, prompt them. You need social media reels for your AI automation services, prompt them all. Let me tell you about something important. If you want to learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Remotion and Claude Code, you need to join the AI Profit Boardroom. This is exactly the kind of workflow we teach. How to use AI agents to handle tasks that used to take hours, how to automate content creation, how to scale your output without scaling your team. We have over 100 AI use cases just like this one, full processes, step-by-step guides, real automation workflows you can implement today, links in the comments and description. Now back to Remotion. And because it's built on React, you have unlimited flexibility. You can add charts and data visualizations. You can pull in live data from APIs. You can use Tailwind CSS for styling. You can add Lottie animations. You can integrate custom fonts and assets. The Remotion skill is marked as critical for animations and sequencing. That means Claude Code prioritizes these capabilities. It knows this is core functionality. It builds them accurately every single time. Now let me show you a real example. Let's say I want to create a landing page demo video for the AI Profit Boardroom. I want to show how our AI tools help businesses automate and scale. I could prompt Claude like this. Build a 60-second Remotion video, start with bold text, AI Profit Boardroom, fade in 3 key benefits with icons, automate your workflows, save 20 hours per week, scale without hiring, add smooth transitions, end with a call to action, join 40,000 members, use a modern color scheme with blues and whites. Claude Code builds that entire video. It creates the text animations, it times the transitions, it positions the elements, it handles the sequencing, and I can iterate on it instantly. Make the icons bounce in. Speed up the transitions by half a second. Add a subtle background gradient. Every change happens in seconds, no timeline scrubbing, no keyframe adjustments, just natural language edits. Here's what makes this different from every other AI video tool. You're not limited by templates, you're not stuck with pre-built styles, you have full programmatic control. If you can describe it, Claude can build it. And because it's code-based, you can version control your videos, you can reuse components across projects, you can build a library of branded animations and effects. Let's talk about use cases. For the AI Profit Boardroom, this is massive. We can create onboarding videos for new members. We can build course intro videos. We can generate social proof reels showing member wins. We can make tutorial videos explaining AI automation workflows. We can create ads showcasing the value of our community. And we can do all of this without hiring a video editor, without learning complex software, without spending hours on manual work. The setup is simple, the workflow is fast, and the results are professional. You can render videos server-side or locally. You can export to MP4 or other formats. You can handle any resolution or aspect ratio. The official skills page shows detailed impact ratings. Animations are marked critical. Sequencing is marked critical. These are the core features that make Remotion powerful. And Claude Code now has deep knowledge of all of them. You can find the full documentation at remotion.dev. The GitHub repo is at github.com/Remotion Dev Skills. The skills.sh directory has over 90 skill packs you can explore. But Remotion is one of the most powerful for content creators. Let me give you another example. Say you want to create a testimonial video for the AI Profit Boardroom. You have member quotes. You want to animate them with clean typography and smooth transitions. You could prompt, create a 45-second testimonial video, show 3 member quotes. Each quote fades in with the member name. Add a subtle zoom animation. Use professional fonts, keep it clean and minimal. Claude builds it, you preview it, you tweak it, you render it, done. Or maybe you want an educational video explaining how AI automation saves time. You could say, build a 90-second explainer video. Show a timeline of a typical workday. Highlight tasks that AI can automate. Email responses, content creation, data entry, customer support. Use icons and animations. Make it engaging and easy to follow. All right? Claude handles the entire build, the sequencing, the timing, the visual flow, everything. The key advantage here is speed and iteration. A traditional video editing is slow. You make a change, you wait for it to render, you preview it, you make another change. With Claude Code and Remotion, you iterate instantly, you describe what you want different. Claude updates the code, you see the change immediately. This compression of the feedback loop is game-changing. And because it's AI-driven, you can generate variations quickly, need 3 different versions of an ad, prompt them all, need to A/B test different hooks, generate multiple options, need to localize videos for different audiences, update the text, and re-render. You can scale video production in ways that weren't possible before. Here's the thing about AI tools like this, they don't replace creativity, they amplify it. You still need to know what makes a good video, you still need to understand your audience, you still need to craft compelling messages, but you don't need to spend hours executing. You focus on strategy and creativity. AI handles the execution. For businesses, this is huge. Video content drives engagement. It converts better than text. It builds trust faster, but it's expensive and time-consuming to produce. With Remotion and Claude Code, you remove those barriers. You can create high-quality video content at scale. You can test ideas quickly. You can iterate based on performance. You can build a content machine. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100+ AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. It's our free AI community. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 40,000 members who are crushing it with AI. They're sharing wins, they're solving problems together, they're building real businesses with AI automation. This Remotion update is one of those rare moments where AI takes a genuine leap forward. It's not hype, it's not incremental, it's a fundamental shift in how we create video content. You can now go from idea to finished video in minutes with full creative control, with professional quality, with zero video editing experience. The barriers are gone. The tools are here. The only question is, what are you going to build? Drop a comment below and let me know what kind of videos you want to create with this. And if you found this valuable, smash that like button. Subscribe if you want more AI updates like this. The new VS Code extension from Claude Code, which just came out a few hours ago. Like you can get it available inside Visual Studio Code, and we're going to test this out as an IDE. So you can basically install Visual Studio Code via the website, and then once you've done that, you just click on Auto Install, and then we can get this started, my friend. And then we'll test it out, see how it performs. Now, I would genuinely say that Claude Code is by far the best coder right now out there, and we're gonna test this out. So you can see here it's guiding you through how it works, etc. You can actually click this button in the top right to start using Claude Code, and this is an AI coding partner inside Visual Studio Code. You can also chat with it as well. And we just have to allow some permissions like this. There we go. And we can also see our previous history and conversations and that sort of thing. So to begin building with this, the first thing that we're going to need to do is we are going to need to open up a new folder to get started with the IDE. So we're going to click on open folder, new folder, and we'll test this out. So I'm going to say, okay, AI profit boarding website. Let's go with that, hit open, and then we can open up Claude inside here, right? So it feels like Claude on the desktop. And instead of using the build agent section over here, you're going to use Claude over here, right? To start editing inside your IDE. You can actually remove that bit if you want to. And then now you've got the Claude Code chat inside Visual Studio Code. So if you prefer like the design of Visual Studio Code, but you want to use Claude Code inside there directly with a nice UI, then this is an easy way to do it, as you can see. So from here, we'll say, okay, build out a website for the AI Profit Boardroom. Then I'm just going to grab some information about the actual community. There we go. We'll go back to Visual Studio Code here, plug this in. And then you've got this option at the bottom that's like, you can edit automatically, you can go to plan mode, you can ask before edits, etc. So if we wanted to plan out the project first before we go ahead, which I would recommend, then we can go with this. And also what you could probably do here is you could install a bunch of Claude Code skills. So you could pull in the repositories of skills that other people published on GitHub, for example, for Claude Code. And then you could probably call those inside the chat here as well, I think. Haven't tested that out. This is the first time I've tested Claude Code inside Visual Studio Code, but we'll see how it goes. And the cool thing about this is it also understands your project, the current file you're working on, text selection, and will propose changes directly. And also it's got agentic features. So for example, sub-agents, custom slash commands, and MCPs are supported, right? So you can work with them inside the VS Code extension, like you can see. By the way, if you've never used Visual Studio Code before, what you're going to see here is like a classic IDE. So you've got the file explorer, you can search for stuff. You've got the repository if you want to publish to GitHub. You can debug over in this section. And then you also have a bunch of other extensions that you can install. So for example, you could use GitHub inside there, Copilot, right? You could use, for example, Klein or Rucode. These are other good extensions for Visual Studio Code. But I think honestly, there's no need with the power of Claude Code directly inside here. Now, what we can also do is we can set up like, okay, what do we want for the CTA links? So we've got an external payment page, a specific URL. So I'm going to go with a specific URL. Do you have testimonials and images? Yes, I do. Use existing assets. So for example, logos, etc. And then we'll go from there. By the way, if you want to get a full guide on exactly how to use this, we've got all the resources inside the AI Success Lab, like you can see. So if you go inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description, it's a community that connects you with 47,400 members, like you can see. If you go inside the classroom here, then go to 21st of January 2026 onwards, you can grab the notes from today, like you can see. So the old way was like you spend hours debugging typos and syntax errors. You switch between terminal editor and browser. You mess around with Google Stack Overflow, hiring developers, etc. Now what you can do is you can just get Claude Code to fix bugs automatically. Everything happens in one window, aka Visual Studio Code. The AI can read error messages and fix them instantly. You can build professional tools you want in like under an hour, and it fixes stuff in real time, right? And you can start coding today, even if you've never coded before. So we're going to take this select, then we're going to grab some testimonials to plug into our project and the URL to funnel traffic to. And you see I've added the testimonials in the chat now of the images. They should be able to use those testimonials to improve the page. It's also transcribed them into plain text there too, which is pretty cool. So it gets it instantly. And it's got the CTA link now as well. And then if we go back to our Explorer here, you can see we're good to go, right? So that was the planning stage, pretty easy and simple. Always good to do that before you just go off and start creating it. Now we can click on yes and auto accept, and we can start editing the project and creating the files automatically. So let's create the files on the left-hand side. We've got the HTML, the CSS, JS, etc. for the website. And by the way, whilst that's coding out, if you want to get a full 30-day plan on how to implement this, I've got it inside the video notes from today, link in the AI Success Lab. So for example, if you want to know how to install it, I've actually got a prompt that you can test for mastering this each day. So every day there's a new post and a new way, a new tool and a new project you can build, like you can see. And then also we have over 100 Claude Code prompts you can use today to build whatever you want inside Visual Studio Code. So for example, if you want to learn how to build lead generation tools or content creation tools or client management tools, etc., whatever you want to build, we have a prompt for it inside the AI Success Lab. And this is beginning to tick off the to-dos inside the chat here. So you can see, for example, it's copied the template files, it's updated the index HTML, it's going to edit the style CSS now, and then it's going to test the website in a browser as well. Good thing about using Claude Code is it has a browser agent, so it can actually open up the page inside our browser and then test it out and see how it performs. You can also use this inside the terminal as well. So if you actually go to like new terminal here and you prefer like the terminal feel of Claude, you can just type in Claude over here and now actually open up Claude inside the terminal. Honestly, I don't like that approach as much as the chat on the right-hand side. I think it's a lot more user-friendly, this section, but if you want to use the terminal, you can. You can also see that at the bottom, it will auto-compact inside the chat. So one of the good things about Claude Code now is like previously it would have a low context window, which meant that it constantly ran out of tokens, right? So you could only talk so much inside the chat before it just shut down and wouldn't respond, right? Because you ran out of context window. Now it has this auto compact feature. And basically what that means is even if it hits the context window, even if you run out of tokens and you go over 200,000 tokens, which is the token limit for Claude, then it will auto compact inside the chat so you avoid that problem. And you can see now the page here is open. So this is the website ready to go. Pretty nice design, pretty simple to build, works perfectly first time around. And it sends traffic to our school community, which is great, right? And we literally just built that in one prompt, even created a nice little logo in the top left there using Claude Code and Visual Studio Code. Works really smoothly, super nice, makes it easy. Honestly, I think I still prefer anti-gravity, but if you want an alternative to anti-gravity and you love Claude Code, this might be one of the best options. If you compare this side by side versus the old version of our website, you can see that Claude Code's design is superior by a long way, right? So this is the new version that I'm scrolling through right now that we just built today. And then this is the old version, right? And the old version now already it looks dated in comparison. I would genuinely say that Claude Code is a really powerful tool. It's probably the best one out there and you can use it directly inside Visual Studio Code without the terminal now. Awesome addition, super useful. If you want to get all the video notes from today that show you exactly how to set this up, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab. You can also, for example, see my framework for coding with this. Plus, you can get a 30-day blueprint to automated coding with prompts for every single day if you want to master this tool. Now, some people are going to say, okay, AI code is buggy and unreliable. Some people would limit themselves to say AI generated code is full of bugs, it'll break constantly, I'll spend more time fixing it than if I just did it myself. Really, the new empowering belief here is like Claude Code with test-driven development catches bugs before they happen, right? So the code is often cleaner than what like a junior developer would write. And you can fix issues in seconds, not hours, right? Other people say this only works for simple stuff, right? Some people say, yeah, sure. AI can build a to-do list, but can it do anything that's actually useful that needs a real developer? And I would say with the right prompts and context, Claude Code builds production-ready tools that handle complex business logic, data processing, and user management. To give you an example of this, the actual new update that came out last week from Claude Cowork, which is like a full desktop app and millions of people are using it, that was built by Claude Code in a week. Right. So the power of these AI tools is basically limitless if you understand how to use them and if you have the right ideas. Thanks so much for watching. Get all of these notes inside the AI Success Lab. It also comes with all my best free trainings. If you join, you'll get 100 prompts on how to use Claude Code to build whatever you want. Also, if you haven't checked out already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is an amazing community with serious AI builders. We've got 2,100 members inside there. And essentially inside the Profit Boardroom, you can ask questions, you can get help, you can get support, you can win, learn, and grow together with the community. And this is an amazing community where we help each other, we comment together. And if you want to learn and grow and really build something amazing, this is the best place to learn. And it's not just me that's winning with AI. For example, Chris, first custom GPT. You have, for example, Stephen, who's crushing it with Minimax. Steve Light found like 10 beta testers for his product. So there's some amazing stuff there. You also get 4 weekly coaching calls where you can jump on a call live. And inside the classroom here, you can also watch all my best trainings. So if you struggle with like information overwhelm and overload, you can go from complete beginner to expert with AI using this. And you can learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. Top of that, you get all my best trainings and tutorials for avatar videos, for shorts, newsletters, Twitter, etc. Inside the classroom too, you'll learn how to get more clients for your agency. You can watch back the Q&A call recordings if you can't make the live coaching calls. And also we have amazing tutorials on how to rank #1 inside AI, plus how to build out your YouTube channel in just 6 weeks. So all of it's inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Feel free to get that link in the comments description, or just go to aiprofitboardroom.com. So what questions we got here? Everything's too crazy. It's insaneception. Hilarious. What else we got? My next project, jump into Claude Code. Thanks once again for all the education. Makes it easy to understand what AI is really for. Thank you so much. Always happy to help. Claude says, keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And Remy says, yo, Julian, are you on a treadmill today? Or is it digital avatar, your way to keep fit? Yeah, I'm on a treadmill today. I'm doing the walking treadmill. It's good for energy, keeps me focused. And also, if I have to go outside for a walk, it's time consuming, stops me from working. Whereas this way I can get work in, do a good live stream, have good energy, and also stay fit at the same time. So it's got all the benefits. And then Abdo says, can I use skills in Google Anti-gravity? You can indeed. So what you want to do, if you want to use skills inside Anti-gravity, right? What you want to do here is you go to Anti-gravity, and then you're just going to open up an example folder, like you can see right here. And what you want to do inside the terminal here is run the skills GitHub. So whatever skills you want to import, you can place them down here, or inside the chat of Google Anti-gravity, you can also say, build me a skill, right? So for example, if you often do SEO or create SEO content inside Anti-gravity, you could say inside the chat here, save this as a skill for SEO, right? So you can see all the skills that I've got imported on the left-hand side. And you might be wondering, okay, like where do you get those skills from? So I've actually got inside the AI Success Lab, like you can see, if you go to January here, part 2, scroll down, go to this section, you can pull in the skills, right? So if you want to pull in these skills, you're just going to open up a new terminal inside Anti-gravity. That will import the skills from the directory, and you can see these skills imported on the left-hand side. So that's how easy it is. And then if you want to start using them, you just call them in the chat on Anti-gravity over here, right? So you put like @ and then whatever you want to call up. So let's say, for example, or / agent manager, that sort of thing. Or you can just say, okay, use the agent evaluation skill, and it will actually locate the skills like you can see right here within the project. So it's analyzing the skill MD files and then pulling in that skill, right? And you can see it's used that skill right there. So that's how you can call them up. And you just say inside the chat whatever skill you want to use. And we've got a huge win here. You can see that one of our members from the AI Profit Boardroom is actually getting their app approved by the Apple Store thanks to the AI Profit Boardroom. So good on you for taking action. That's down to you, your hard work. I really respect that. So that's awesome. Today, we're going to be testing out Claude Code with Ollama. So essentially what you can do now is you can plug in Ollama directly into Claude Code to run Claude Code and other tools with open source models. So we're going to test this out and see how it performs. You can also use cloud models too, or you can run local models on your machine and then run these directly through Claude Code. This is how you get started. These are instructions. We're going to just test this out and see how it performs, right? Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you can actually have Ollama running. So you want to make sure that you have Ollama set up like you can see right here. So you just download it for free. And then once you've downloaded it, you can actually run this with local models on your machine, right? So if we open up Ollama here, we've got local models, but we want to integrate this directly into Claude. So let's get started with this, right? So we're going to go into start using Claude Code. If you haven't already got Claude Code set up, you can run it locally with these instructions, and then you're going to configure Ollama to run directly with code. If you want all the links and the resources from today to just copy and paste this stuff, plus a 30-day plan, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab, which comes with a community of 46,500 people and all of my best free stuff, including the full setup for Ollama and Claude Code. So let's get straight into this. We're going to make sure that we have Ollama running in the background. Let's see. Then we're just going to update it. Then we'll open up terminal. And you can see we've got GPT OSS running directly with Claude Code, like you can see. All right. So how does this work? Let me just replay that for you. I'm going to just terminate this terminal window and we'll set it up again just to show you. First of all, you need to have Claude Code installed, like you can see. Then from there, you're going to configure Ollama, which you can do with these copy and paste instructions inside the AI Success Lab. And then from here, you're going to choose which model you want to run locally. And you change your model based on this bit right here. So you do Claude-model and then the model that you want to use, right? Or if you want to use a cloud model, you can use it like that, right? So for example, if we go inside here and we're like, okay, we want to use GPT OSS with Claude Code, you can run it like, and then just make sure that you have the model installed. So if we wanted to install, for example, GPT OSS, we would download it like, so let's say we want to use the 20B version, we can just download it here and it would download the model first, right? One of the fastest models that you can actually use is Gemma. So I've got Gemma 4B here. And the one that I'm going to test is Qwen 3 Coder, like you can see. And we can also test out GPT OSS as well. We've tested this out. This is the Ollama integration with Claude Code locally. So let's try this out. The latest models. So we've pulled in Qwen 3 Coder. Let's try it out now. Boom. There we go, right? So now it's working. So you can see here, for example, we're actually using a cloud model. I'm using GPT OSS 20B Cloud, like you can see. And you can see here, for example, it's actually plugged that model directly into Claude Code, which means that we're using the API and the tokens directly from Ollama, which if you're running a local model would cost you nothing. And then you can see here, for example, it's set up and ready to go. So just to recap on the instructions right there and how to set this up, first thing you want to do, make sure that you've got Ollama running with the model. So for example, we've selected GPT OSS 20B Cloud right there, right? First thing. Second thing, you want to configure Ollama with this, right? So export the Ollama and just configure it right there to run with Claude Code. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've used this terminal command to select the right model. So for example, we've put Claude -model OSS 20B Cloud, right? So for example, if we go back into terminal now and we plug that in, it's going to say, okay, I'll need permission with your files. This means I can blah, blah, blah. We'll hit yes, continue. And then you can see we now have GPT OSS 20B Cloud running directly inside Claude Code, which is really cool. And then let's see if this works. Just as a little test, boom, it's beginning to code out now using the Ollama model, but we've configured Claude Code, which normally runs from like Claude Opus and that sort of thing and can cost a lot of credits. We've configured code to run with this local model or to run with a cloud model as well. And you can use this with whatever API you want to use, but I think Qwen 3 Coder would probably be one of the best ones. And then also using something like GPT OSS would be one of the best ones. Then we can begin to code this project out. And you can see it's beginning to code out right now. Now, you might be wondering, okay, like, what are the benefits of this? Number one, there's obviously cost benefits, right? So you don't need a Claude subscription. You just use Claude Code free with open source models. So there's no API costs. And also you can use this with cloud options, right? So you can access Ollama's cloud models when you need more power, right? So for example, if you wanted to use something like Minimax, you can actually use Minimax M2 as a cloud model, as you can see right here. And this is like pretty much on par with Opus, right? And so you can code with this, or you could code with GLM, etc., using the cloud model from Ollama. So for that, obviously, you got privacy and control. If you're using a local model, not a cloud model, then you got local first workflows, more privacy, more control, and also you get flexibility here, right? So you can swap between like local and cloud models. You get the best of both worlds. You can iterate quickly with local models or use cloud models for heavy tasks. You can use a Claude Code interface or any other tool that supports Anthropic API, and you're not locked into a single provider or model. And then also there's technical advantages, right? So for example, open source models, you get access to cutting edge open source models, but you get full Anthropic API capability, extended thinking mode, and the same interface, right? So if you're familiar with Claude Code, but you don't want to rinse your credits, this is one of the easiest ways. And also you get faster iteration, so you can test with local models without internet. You get offline capability, resource control, and also you get to experiment more with this stuff too. And then how would you use it in reality? For example, like coding projects, learning stuff, production, and then testing as well. So really cool, free, easy way to run local models inside Claude Code, as you can see right here. So we're building out this project right here. The cloud models with Ollama, they do have limits, but the limits are pretty generous, to be honest. So you can see our cloud usage right here, and you get an hourly and a weekly usage. So you can see I've not even used 1% of my weekly usage, and I use Ollama almost every single day. So pretty powerful stuff right there. You can also search loads of different models, or you can just flick through here and then decide which one you want to use directly with Claude Code. And what I've actually created is a framework called the Free AI Agent Stack, right? Because most people think you need like expensive AI subscriptions to build automations, but they're wrong, right? Because with Ollama's new Anthropic API capability, you can run the same powerful AI agents that businesses spend a lot on, but you can run them for free on your own computer using Claude Code, right? And until now, if you wanted to use Claude Code, which is one of the most powerful AI coding tools, you needed a Claude subscription. But now you can run it with free open source models locally on your machine, which is pretty powerful. I've also created a 30-day roadmap on exactly how to use this stuff. So if you want to learn, okay, what can you build? How can you build? What are some of the best use cases? How could you build, for example, like a customer support generator, or for example, a competitor analysis tool, maybe a video script generator? I've got loads of ideas inside the 30-day roadmap of the AI Success Lab. Link in the comments description. Now, let's run through some empowering beliefs that you need to win with this stuff, right? So the old belief, for example, was like AI coding tools are too expensive. And this is what most solopreneurs think, right? They think they need to buy monthly subscriptions for AI coding tools. Some people say they can't afford to use Claude Pro or that sort of thing, and they're stuck doing everything manually. But that's the old way. Here's the truth. With Ollama's new Anthropic API capability, right, you can run the exact same AI coding agents free on your computer, right? Think about this. Imagine you like, for example, training for Muay Thai. You could pay for an expensive gym membership, or you could train at home with the same techniques for free. The techniques don't change, the results don't change, but the location changes, right? And that's the same thing with this. It's like the AI models are just as powerful. They run locally, no monthly fees, and you don't need to pay for anything. So the new belief really is like free local AI models give you the same automation power as expensive subscriptions without the recurring fees. Also, some people think you need to be technical to use AI coding tools. And most people look at code and think, I don't understand programming, I'm not technical enough for this, I'll never figure out how to use these tools. That's wrong. Here's what actually happens. It's like you copy 2 commands, you paste them into your terminal, you talk to the AI in plain English, and it builds everything for you like you've seen today, right? So if we have a look inside the terminal here, we've built out the SEO calculator tool, as you can see right here. And we did it all in plain English. We just say build this tool out, right? So whatever app or idea or website or game you want to build, you can do directly inside Claude Code using these local models. So it's like having a translator who speaks fluent code, right? You speak in English, he writes the code, you get the results, right? And even if you have zero coding experience like me, you can build entire AI automation systems using this, right? You describe what you want, the AI builds it, you're done. So the new belief really is that AI coding tools work through conversation, not programming language. If you can describe what you want, AI can build it. Other people say local AI models are not as good as cloud models, and people hear free local models and assume they must be weaker versions, or the good stuff requires subscriptions, or you're getting a watered down experience, but it's not really true anymore, right? So you look at, for example, like models like Qwen 3 Coder, you've got DeepSeek, you've got, for example, GPT OSS, you've also got, for example, Minimax, right? Directly inside Ollama. These models are way more powerful. So really the new belief here is like modern local AI models match these APIs performance whilst giving you privacy, speed, and more usage. So feel free to get all the video notes from today inside the AI Success Lab. This is a free community that connects you with 46,500 people, like you can see. And if you go inside the classroom here, and then you go to this section, you can find the video notes from today, including the free AI agent stack framework, the 30-day roadmap, the limiting beliefs that I've covered today, and then also over 100 prompts that you can use to build and test this stuff out, right? Now, if you haven't, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is an amazing community where we win, we learn, and we grow together. And everyone inside here is really scaling their business and growing with AI automation. So if you want to save time, if you want to automate your business, if you want to learn AI automation and how to apply it in a practical way, then feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom. It comes with an amazing community of 2,100 people. You can see it's not just me that's winning with this stuff. So for example, like Steven Simpson just posted, I've worked a lot in Minimax and it's been great so far. Loads of people getting great results with Minimax actually. And you can see, for example, people are just sharing what they're doing. So for example, Steve is crushing his 30-day YouTube challenge. You've got, for example, Mike creating his first custom GPT. Like loads of people who have never used AI before are absolutely crushing it with AI automation inside here. Inside the calendar, you'll get 4 weekly coaching calls a week. So 4 weekly coaching calls where you can get live support, help, and ask any questions live on the call. If you can't make them, you can watch back the coaching calls inside the classroom right here. And if you want to learn AI automation from scratch, we actually have this complete beginner's course that takes you from beginner to expert with this stuff, and also how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, you get all my best playbooks, for example, for AI automation, for avatar videos, for automating social media, newsletters, shorts, etc. Inside the classroom as well, you get a course on how to get more clients. You'll learn how to do AI SEO as well. And pretty much anything you want to learn about AI automation is inside here. Plus, you've got the archive where you can search for anything specific. So if you wanted to learn, for example, about Notebook LM or anti-gravity, you type it in the search bar here and you can see our video tutorials on exactly how to use this stuff. So feel free to get that. That's available available, link in the comments description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. Am I using a free plan on Ollama? Yes, I am. Can we use NA10 with this? Yeah, I mean, you can use NA10 with Ollama, right? So if you want to use Ollama with NA10, you can. With Claude Code, I don't know how that would work, like, or what would be the benefits of that, to be honest. But yeah, if you just want to use NA10 with a local model, like, no problem. Just use NA10 locally and then configure it with. So today we're going to be testing out Claude Code 2.1, which is a brand new update from Claude. Now, you can actually access this directly inside Claude, like you can see right here. So if you go to Claude, you download it on desktop, you can get it accessed right there. That's one of the biggest differences, is like previously you would have to go to your terminal, then you type in Claude, and then you can start using Claude directly from there. But most people don't like the UI of using a terminal. And also, if you're not a techie or you're not a developer, it's not the best place to start, to be honest with you, right? So what you can do over here is you can actually open Claude Code directly inside the desktop version of Claude, right? So for example, here, if we close the sidebar, open it up again, you can see that we have the coding section over here. And then you can see, for example, this is a project that we built using Claude Code, just as an example for a one-tap flying bird game. So if you want to open this up, you can actually open it up. So let's say open this up. And the amazing thing about Claude is you can access your files, it can code locally. It's got a really nice UI now, so you get the power of using Claude, but you can actually code locally and build projects offline. And if we have a look, for example, this is the page that we've created with Claude, just as a random example game. It works really nicely. It's super easy to build, right? Now, the other thing you can do here is you can just start up a new session and you can be like, okay, let's select a new folder. So open this up, create a new folder, just open up this test like this. And then we're going to say, okay, knowing what you know about me, what would be the most useful app I could build? Plus, make it fun, colorful, interesting, plus dopamine inducing, right? Something like that, just to make sure the UI and that sort of thing is fun to build, right? From here, it's going to start generating some ideas. If it says this about you, what you can actually do is just go back to the chat over here, and Claude will actually have the memory of you. So Claude Code doesn't seem to remember in the same way. Whereas if you go inside the chat, it will actually remember who you are, what you do, etc., as you can see. So what you can do over here is you can actually grab this, and then we can say, okay, give me a prompt for building this. There we go. So we're going to plug this in. And it's giving us a really in-depth prompt, and it's all personalized to me, right? Now, once we've done that, so let's wait for that to load. We can now copy this. There we go. So that's inside the chat of Claude. We're going to go back over to the coding section. We're going to plug this in. It does actually, the thing I like about this as well with Claude Code is it gives you options, and then you can choose which one you want, right? Which is pretty nice. Now, if we open up a new folder here, open up tests, for example, we're going to plug in this prompt that we got from Claude before. We can also switch on ask, which means like it asks for approval before it takes any action. And you've got some sort of demo prompts right here as well. So you could, for example, get it to update your Claude MD file, or search for a to-do comment, or recommend areas to improve. But I'm just going to build out this app right now. So let's hit enter on that and see what we get back. And then we can also have like multiple instances of Claude Code as well. So if we go into the terminal here, and then from here, you can also just talk to Claude directly with plain text, right? With plain English. So for example, if we're like, okay, build this game out for me, it will start building out this game, as you can see inside the terminal, whilst the other version of Claude Code is building out inside the desktop as well. So if you want to build 2 projects at once, but you don't want to switch between tabs, or you don't want to switch between different terminal windows, then you can just have these running side by side, like you can see right here. You can also, if you've installed VS Code, so Visual Studio Code, you can select that, or CLI as well, so you can open up the terminal too. And then you'll see these 3 dots at the bottom here. So you can click on /commands, and then you can actually, for example, give it different ideas that you want to do, different commands and that sort of thing. So we're just going to click on always allow. Like you can see, that's going to begin to build this out. And also you've got a checklist here. So it actually ticks off the tasks as it's going through the checklist. So it figures out, okay, here's what I need to do for the project. And then let's click off each of these. Now, there's also a bunch of other updates that came with this. So, for example, you can press Shift and Enter for new lines for CRI setup. You can add hooks directly to agent and skills front matter. With skills, you've got like forked, context, hot reload, custom agent support, invoke with the slash command. And then agents also no longer stop when you deny a tool. Top of that, you can configure the model to respond in your language. So, for example, if you speak a different language, it could respond in Japanese or Spanish and that sort of thing. It's got wildcard support for tool permissions, teleport your session. So you can actually teleport it directly to the cloud as well. So you can actually send it over here directly inside the desktop. And then also you can see a full change log right inside the GitHub, right? So this is 2.1.2, and there's a bunch of other stuff that's actually just been added today as well. So this was 2.1, which literally just came out. And then if you scroll up, there's even more changes added and improved today. So it's definitely, for coding, I think in general, it's probably the best for building out projects. It's one of the easiest as well because you don't really need to understand how to use any of this, right? It's just like you tell it what you want in plain English. And so far, I've not really found any limitations to Claude. Like it can pretty much build anything. So if we're like, okay, open this, it should be able to open up the project that's just built inside our tab. So let's press space to start. And you can see that it works perfectly first time around, right? Like it was super easy to build this. It's quite a fun game and it works perfectly. So we've also got this app building out, as you can see. That's more of a longer project, so it's going to take a little while. But if you want to see like where it's up to in terms of progress, you can just check out the to-dos over here. What you can also do, if you don't realize it already as well, is you can actually go over to anti-gravity, and then inside anti-gravity, you can click on new terminal, and then inside new terminal, you can actually run Claude Code and its new version directly with anti-gravity, right? So if you want to use it inside there, you can as well. So you got plenty of options, like you can use it inside the terminal, you can use it inside Claude Desktop, you can teleport Claude Desktop to your browser inside Chrome, and also you can plug this into terminal and anti-gravity as well. So pretty simple and easy to use. Doesn't really require any expertise. It seems like it's getting easier and easier. And I really like the UI that comes directly inside the desktop version of this. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to all the video notes on Claude Code, how to use it, how to set it up, etc. What you can actually do is if you type in Claude inside the AI Success Lab, which is a free community connecting you with 44,800 people. If you go over to the classroom here, you can see all our different trainings on Claude. We even have a full course 1 hour long. We have information on Claude Code and another video tutorial that breaks it all down and how it works, etc. You can also go to the classroom here and you'll see all of our latest automations. And if you scroll to this section, you'll find all the video notes from yesterday. So we were talking about, for example, Claude Code 2.1 introduces automatic skill reloads, support for agents, language models, and slash commands, smoother UI, easier setup process, and faster and smarter local coding, right? And you can also check out the GitHub changelog for using all of that. So if you want to get step-by-step instructions on exactly how to use it, you can get it inside the AI Success Lab, completely free, link in the comments description. And if you want to get help, support, if you want to learn this stuff directly from me, if you want to be able to DM me and get help and support and reach out whenever you want, and if you want to join a community of winners who are growing and learning and implementing this stuff day to day inside their business, you can check out the AI Profit Boardroom. Like you can see, we actually have a daily accountability group that just helps you avoid the overwhelm and the craziness and the shiny objects that come with AI and building it inside your business so that you can just stay laser focused on here's my top goal, here's my top task for the day, like you see with Justin, right? Justin is a legendary member inside the AI Profit Boardroom, same with Christian. We're just setting up our goals and making sure we smash them, right? Top of that, we have all these wins, so people are winning and learning and growing. So you can see, for example, Jay built out his first AI video project. Clint actually built out an app inside Anti-Gravity. You've got, for example, Steve found a bunch of beta testers for his new product, right? So it's just amazing how people are using and learning and growing. There's loads of cool tips in there. If you ever get stuck, you can actually post inside the AI Profit Boardroom and just get help from the community. And you can see that every single post gets support, gets help, gets questions answered, etc. Right? Now, if you go to the classroom here, if you want to learn how to master AI automation inside your business, then you can see that we have a beginner course. It takes you from beginner to expert in just 5 weeks, right? So you can follow the steps inside the course here and go from beginner to expert. Plus, you'll learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, you actually get our playbooks on the systems that I build inside my business. So, for example, you can see my process for AI avatar videos, how we create screen shares with AI avatar videos. We actually break down the full training plus the step-by-step prompts and SOP for using this stuff. Inside the classroom as well, you can also learn how to get more clients for your agency. You'll get our best AI SEO automations, plus a full 6-week roadmap on how to scale your YouTube channel based on what's working for me. And on top of that, inside the calendar, we do 4 weekly coaching calls. So you can jump on 4 weekly coaching calls, ask any questions, get help, get support, etc., with a PhD trained scientist in AI automation. So, basically they can help you with anything technical. Plus, you get to meet this community on the calls. And if you can't watch it back, no problem. We actually record them and post them inside the classroom. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Supporter says, Captain Julian, I'm so blown away with anti-gravity having Opus support. May need to pause my windsurf. Yeah, for sure. Like, anti-gravity is awesome, man. Like, I haven't used windsurf in quite a long time. I honestly didn't use IDEs for a long time, and then anti-gravity came out, and I'm just loving it. Like, it's so good, so powerful. Juice Squeeze says, great stuff. Appreciate you watching. Thank you very much for staying on the live stream. Appreciate that. Today, we have 2 brand new updates from Claude Code. So number one is that you can actually use Claude Code inside Desktop, and you see this tweet from Cat Wu here. So to do this, you can download Claude Desktop from the website, open the sidebar, click Code Toggle, select the folder that you want Claude Code to have access to, and then submit prompts. So for example, if you actually go to Claude Desktop over here, and then you're going to select code, like you can see that we now run Claude Code directly inside the desktop app, which is great because now you don't need to worry about using it inside terminal. So to get started, we're just going to click on this. This is the preview. So it says, welcome to Claude Code, your agentic coding partner that works directly in your code base, blah, blah, blah. And then you can install the runtime dependencies. And then from there, you can start using this. We'll come back to that in a second once it's finished installing it. Actually, it's done it pretty quickly here, so we can just get straight into this. And then you can see, for example, we can actually take an example project, open up the folder locally, and then you can switch between which server you want to use. So I'm just going to go with this one, and now we can start improving it from here, right? So for example, we could click on recommend areas to improve, and then from here, click on trust workspace, allow access to the document folder, and it will start going off and building this out. And you can also see like other examples of using Claude Code locally right here. So that's going to start working its magic, and then you can click allow and allow it to code over here, which is a lot nicer than previously. If you're using the terminal and you're not like a very techy person, you could set up Claude directly inside here, allow the permissions, etc., and start coding in here. But if you look at the difference in the UI, which one do you want to use? Do you want to use Claude Desktop, or do you want to use Claude Code directly? I would go with Claude Code directly. It's much easier inside the desktop than it is inside the terminal, which is great. And then also, whilst waiting for that to load, you can see another update from Boris, who said that Claude Code 2.10 is officially out. Claude update to get it. And here's what they've shipped. So they've added a bunch of features right here. Like you can see, it's available on the new GitHub changes, changelog. And you can see, for example, here, they've added automatic skill reloads, added support for running skills and slash commands, supports for agents, language, etc. Just a bunch of new updates right here, which is pretty awesome. So you can see the changelog, and this is Claude Code 2.10. So let's go inside Claude Code here. You can see it's beginning to test this out. We can also start up a new session whilst we're waiting for that to improve, right? So if we click on new session over here, and we can open up another folder. Let's see what we got here. For example, we have this game. We can open that up and then just say improve the UI on this, plus open it up. And you can also, for example, upload images. You've got a list of slash commands right here as well. And then we can hit run on this as well. All right. And then we've got Claude Code coding out in 2 different instances, but it's all running locally and it's inside a nice UI, which is great. We can also just go back to the chat whilst waiting for code to finish off. All right. So it's beginning to update right here. And then from here, we're good to go. And then we'll just hit allow once on this. And you can also use this with VS Code or the CLI as well. So if you click on open terminal here, you can actually use the terminal inside code. Like you can see, so if we're like, okay, code out a website for SEO, we've got a much nicer UI. If you want to get started with setting up Claude Code, you can see all the instances right here and how to set it up. But obviously inside the terminal, like it's a lot more complex, as you can see. Whereas if you just install it inside Claude Desktop, it's so much easier, right? And just think the UI just looks 10 times better, as you can see. So we're going to start setting this up, answering the questions that it's recommending, and then it's going to plan and build that out. And then if we go back to the recommend areas to improve our tests, we've got the recommendations from Claude over here, and this is beginning to code out like so. It's, would you like me to help set up the testing infrastructure? Okay, let's click yes. And now it will start to update the to-do list. Now it says, tell me about your AI avatar process for videos. So if you want to check out the AI Profit Boardroom, if you go to the classroom here, and then you go to the playbooks, you'll see our best trainings on how to use AI avatar videos. So for example, it walks you through how we create these, standard operating procedure for using them. And then also if you want to learn how we sync screen shares and add B-roll and stuff like that to our AI avatars, which have another video on how to do it here, plus all the prompts and the SOP inside the instructions. So you can see it's finished out coding the whole update right here. It just looks so much nicer inside the UI. So it gives you a full log of what it's done, all the changes it's made so far, etc. Ticked off the to-dos so far. And then also you can see here, we keep scrolling down, it's got like the game features and everything else. So if we click on open now, index.html, we're going to allow that. And now we've got the game ready to go. And there we go. So I think it's just a much more accessible way to use Claude Code with a better UI and everything else. And then go back here. It works perfectly, but it's all hosted locally as well, which is great as well. Let's try something else out now. So I'm going to take one of the other prompts from the AI Success Lab, which has loads of different training on how to use Claude. If you want to get that, link in the comments and description. I'm going to say, okay, build a rage clicker game with one giant button. Or what else can we do? Create a one-tap flying bird game. Let's try that. All right, so let's go back to Claude here. We're going to go to code, set up a new folder. So we'll click on open, and then we'll just go with that one. And then we can go from here. There's some people asking, like, is Anti-gravity or Claude Code better? Honestly, I would say that Claude Code is much better. It's just way more powerful than Anti-gravity. And there's so much you can do with it. A lot of people don't even use Claude Code for coding. They use it more as an agent, which is pretty cool. But if you do want to use Claude Code inside Anti-gravity, this actually makes it a lot more powerful. So what you can do is if you go to terminal inside Google Anti-gravity like so, and then you click on new terminal here, and then from here you just type in Claude and it will just open up Claude Code as long as you've already got that installed on your laptop. And then from here you can start using it. So you can say, okay, make on this project 10 times better, right? And it will basically allow you to speak in plain English to Anti-gravity to improve it. And the cool thing about that is as well that you're not going to run out of credits, whereas you can hit the limits pretty quickly inside Claude if you're using the API from Google Anti-gravity. And then you can see Claude Code is beginning to code out right here. So we can go inside this section, click on yes, do we want to proceed? And then it will start building it out. So the Flappy Bird game has finished now. Let's click on open this and then allow once. It's even got sound effects on there as well. So we just literally just built this out in one prompt using Claude Code. And that was super easy, wasn't it? So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, check out the classroom inside the AI Success Lab. This is a free community that connects you with 44,500 people interested in AI. We actually show you how to set it up completely. And we've got a bunch of video trainings on this, right? So for example, here you can see this video tutorial that compares Gemini versus Claude Code. We also have, for example, how to use Claude Code as a super agent as well. So there's many different ways you can use Claude Code. So for example, you can actually get it to control your browser and stuff like that. It is becoming increasingly powerful as well. If we actually go over to Claude here, inside Claude, and then you click on code here, you can also use Claude Code inside the desktop as well. So if you're online and you just go to claude.ai/code, you can start building like so. Right? And you can just open up a repository and then from there, start editing stuff out, as you can see, and open other repositories from your Git. Also, if you haven't already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is an amazing community where we basically show you how to automate your business with AI. And inside here, basically what we do is we help you overcome overwhelm, overcome shiny object syndrome, and show you how to go from complete beginner to expert using AI. So This is just in 5 weeks. And also, you'll get a training on how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, a lot of people ask us about how to create our AI avatar videos. So you can see our full process inside the classroom right here. And on top of that, if you want to get more clients, check out our agency course. If you want to automate your SEO, check out this section. And if you want to grow a YouTube channel with AI, we have a full 6-week roadmap here. Plus, we have 4 weekly coaching calls inside the calendar. So you can jump on these live coaching calls, get help, get support whenever you need it. And you can sign up inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. So let's recap on some of the questions right here. Flavin says, what is the big update? The big update is 2 things. Number 1, you can use Claude Code inside the desktop version of Claude. So if you download Claude and then go to the code section, then you can check it out from there. The other one is that Claude Code 2.1 is out. So if you update, there's a bunch of like technical tweaks that they've improved inside Claude Code. Flavin says, if you are using Claude Code in Anti-gravity, it doesn't use your usage limits from Claude Code plan. I think it would. Yeah, I think it will use your tokens and your usage from Claude Code. So just be careful with that. Flavin says it shows my subscription usage limits on it, but if I use the chat interface, it looks like it's separate. Can we use Claude subscription for Anti-gravity? Yeah, so you would just open up Claude Code inside the terminal of Anti-gravity, and then inside Anti-gravity, you can use your Claude Code subscription inside there. All right. Hopefully that helps. Vibe, Kanban Plus, Claude Code is insane. Hey, today I'm going to show you something that's going to completely change how you build stuff with AI. I'm talking about Vibe Kanban plus Claude Code working together. This is big because you can now run multiple coding agents at the same time without them breaking each other's work. No more babysitting terminal logs. You can actually focus on planning and reviewing while AI does the heavy lifting in the background. This is the future of building with AI, and it's available right now. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. Let me break down what Vibe Kanban actually is and why it matters. Vibe Kanban is a tool that lets you manage multiple coding agents at once. Think of it like having a team of developers working on different parts of your project at the same time. But here's the crazy part. They don't step on each other's toes. They don't create conflicts. They just work in parallel while you focus on the bigger picture. Before this, if you wanted to use Claude Code or any coding agent, you had to watch it work. You had to sit there looking at terminal logs. You had to make sure it didn't mess something up. It was like micromanaging a developer, except the developer was an AI. That's not efficient. That's not how you scale. That's not how you build a business that runs without you being stuck in the weeds. And with Vibe Kanban, everything changes. You can set up multiple tasks. Each task gets its own coding agent, and they all work at the same time. While they're coding in the background, you're doing the high-level stuff. You're planning the next feature. You're reviewing the work that's already done. You're thinking about strategy instead of syntax. Let me give you a real example of how this works for the AI Profit Boardroom. Let's say we need to build out 3 different features for our community platform. We need a new landing page that converts visitors into members. We need an automated email sequence that onboards new members. And we need a dashboard that shows members their progress with AI automation. Before Vibe Kanban, I'd have to do these one by one with Claude Code. I'd start the landing page, wait for it to finish, check it, then move to the email sequence, wait, check, then the dashboard, wait, check. That's hours of just waiting and watching. Vibe Kanban, I set up 3 separate tasks in the Kanban board, 1 task for the landing page, 1 for the email sequence, 1 for the dashboard. I assign each task to a Claude Code agent and I hit go. All 3 agents start working at the same time. The landing page agent is writing HTML and CSS for a high converting page that explains the value of AI automation. The email sequence agent is building out the automation that welcomes new members and shows them how to get started. The dashboard agent is creating the interface that tracks member progress and engagement. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Vibe Kanban and Claude Code. The link is in the comments and description. It's at school.com/AI Profit Lab. And what am I doing while this happens? I'm not watching logs. I'm planning the next set of features. I'm thinking about what else we need to make the AI Profit Boardroom even better. I'm reviewing the work as it comes in through Vibe Kanban's diff tool. This is the key. The diff tool shows me exactly what changed. I can see what the agent built. I can approve it or ask for changes. And I do this at my own pace, not at the pace of the terminal scrolling by. Here's why the diff tool is so important. Like when you're building with AI, you need to review the code. You need to make sure it actually does what you want. But if you're watching terminal logs, you're trying to review code as it's being written. That's impossible. It's like trying to proofread a book while someone's still typing it. With Vibe Kanban's diff tool, you review after the work is done. You see a clean before and after. You can take your time. You can think about whether this is the right solution, and you can give feedback that actually improves the next iteration. Let me walk you through the actual workflow. First, you open Vibe Kanban. You see your Kanban board with columns like to do, in progress, review, and done. You create a new task card. Let's say the task is build a landing page for AI Profit Boardroom that converts visitors by showing the amazing value of AI automation and explains all the benefits of our community. You write that in the task description, then you assign it to a Claude Code agent. The agent picks up the task and moves it to in progress. Now, here's where it gets good. You can create another task right away, build an automated email sequence that onboards new AI Profit Boardroom members and teaches them the basics of AI automation. Assign that to another Claude Code agent and another task. Create a member dashboard for AI Profit Boardroom that shows progress, community activity, and upcoming events. Assign that to a third agent. All three tasks are now in progress at the same time. All three agents are coding in parallel. You're not watching any of them work. You're doing other stuff. Maybe you're creating content. Maybe you're talking to members. Maybe you're planning the next phase of your business. The agents work in the background. And when they're done, the tasks move to the review column. That's your queue. You open the diff tool. You see what the first agent built for the landing page. You review the HTML. You check the copy. You make sure it actually sells the value of AI automation. If it looks good, you approve it and move the task to done. If it needs changes, you add comments and send it back. Same process for the other tasks. Review the email sequence, review the dashboard, approve or request changes. And here's the thing, while you're reviewing one task, the other agents can still be working on their tasks. Or if you send something back for revisions, that agent can work on the fixes while you review something else. Everything happens in parallel. Nothing is blocked, waiting for you to watch a terminal. This is how you scale with AI. You don't scale by doing more tasks yourself. You scale by managing more agents, doing more tasks at the same time. And Vibe Kanban makes that possible. It's like going from being a solo developer to managing a team of developers, except the team is AI agents and they work way faster than humans. Now let's talk about what this means for growing a business like the AI Profit Boardroom. When you can build faster, you can test more ideas. When you can test more ideas, you find what works. But when you find what works, you scale it. That's the whole game. But most people get stuck at the building part. They have great ideas, but building takes too long, or building takes too much focus, or they don't know how to code, so they can't build at all. Vibe Kanban plus Claude Code solves all of that. You don't need to know how to code. You just need to know what you want to build. You describe it in a task. You let the agent build it. You review it. You ship it. Then you move to the next idea. Instead of spending weeks building one feature, you can build multiple features in days. Instead of being the bottleneck, you become the strategic layer that decides what to build and whether it's good enough. Let me give you another example. Let's say you want to add a new feature to the AI Profit Boardroom. You want a tool that helps members generate content ideas for their business using AI. You could sit down and try to code this yourself, or you could hire a developer, or you could use Claude Code and watch it build the whole thing while you stare at logs for an hour, or you could use Vibe Kanban. You create a task, build a content idea generator for AI Profit Boardroom members that uses AI to suggest blog posts, social media content, and video topics based on their business niche. You assign it to an agent, you go do something else. An hour later, you come back. The task is in review, you check the diff. The agent built a clean interface where members enter their niche. The AI suggests 20 content ideas. Each idea has a title, a brief outline, and a hook. You test it, it works, you approve it, you ship it. Total time you spent actively working on this, maybe 15 minutes. Time the agent spent building, an hour, but you weren't watching that hour, you were doing other high-value work. Now multiply that across every feature you want to build, every improvement you want to make, every test you want to run. That's the power of Vibe Kanban. You're not limited by how much you can personally code or watch being coded. You're limited by how many good ideas you have and how fast you can review the work. And reviewing is way faster than building. Here's another huge benefit. Vibe Kanban keeps everything organized. When you're running multiple agents, it's easy to lose track of what's being built, what's done, what needs review, what's still in progress. The Kanban board solves that. You see everything at a glance. You know exactly what stage each task is in. You know what needs your attention next. You're not juggling terminal windows. You're not trying to remember which agent is working on which feature. It's all visual. It's all clear. And because everything goes through the diff tool for review, you maintain quality. You're not just blindly shipping whatever the agent builds. You're checking it. You're making sure it meets your standards. You're making sure it actually solves the problem you wanted to solve. This is critical. AI is powerful, but it's not perfect. Sometimes it misunderstands what you want. Sometimes it builds something that technically works but isn't quite right. The review step catches that. And because you're reviewing work that's already done instead of work that's happening in real time, you can actually give thoughtful feedback. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Vibe Kanban and Claude Code. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100 plus AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 40,000 members who are crushing it with AI. The link is in the comments and description. It's at school.com/AI Profit Lab. Today, I'm going to show you how to build anything with Claude Code and Google Anti-gravity. It's actually pretty easy to integrate the two, and you can use Google Anti-gravity for free. You can also get Claude for free directly inside there if you want access to the free API for this. This is a really powerful coder. So once you've downloaded it, which you can do over here, you can then go over to Anti-gravity, and inside Anti-gravity, what you want to make sure if you're using Claude Code is that you download the extensions. So on the left-hand side here, you're going to select extensions, then you're going to type in Claude. From here, Claude should pop up. Let's wait for it to load. Here we go. So you got Claude Code for VS Code, right? So we're going to click install on that, trust publisher and install. And this will actually allow you to install MCPs as well, which is pretty cool. But also it can run in your terminal whilst you're coding a project, right? So I'll show you an example of this in a second. If we go over to, as you can see, we've got Claude Code inside Anti-gravity now. What you're going to do from here is you go over to the Explorer and then you're going to start typing and coding whatever you want, right? So for example, here you can see we've already got this project ready to go. And this is for creating a project system, right? So for example, here you can see the page that we've created. And if you go to, for example, just run this page, it'll actually load up the page that we've previously created inside Anti-gravity, right? So this was for a to-do list or a typing list. I think last time I checked, it's just going to load and open that up. And you can see we're using Gemini Flash for this just because it's the fastest, but you can switch between Claude Sonnet, 4.5 Thinking, Opus 4.5, etc. And you can use those for free within limits inside Google Anti-gravity. So this is going to run the project. And then I'm going to show you how to integrate Claude Code in a second, all right? So if you check here, for example, it's loading up the browser and it's going to open up a typing test app that we've built, right? And so with this typing test app, we've built it with Anti-gravity, we've coded it out, etc. But we can actually use Claude Code in a second to improve that a lot, right? It's just going to use this agent now to control the browser. You can see and tell that's being used by the agent by the blue background on the side, which is now gone. So that's finished. And you can see here that it's finished running the page, right? Now, how can you use Claude Code and why would you use Claude Code inside Anti-gravity? The thing is, if we actually go to, let's go to view, and then we're just going to open up the terminal here. So if we go to terminal at the top, and then we click on new terminal, we're just going to open up Claude Code. So if we type in Claude there, it's going to open up. Yes, continue. And now we can actually use Claude Code in the terminal inside our project on Anti-gravity. Now, why would you want to do that? Number one, obviously, from everything that I've tested, and I've spent thousands of hours testing this stuff, Claude is by far a superior model when it comes to coding. Now, you could use Claude Opus within the chat here, but the problem with that is number one, there's limits. And number two, it's going to run out of limits. But then also, if you're already paying for Claude, you don't want to pay for Anti-gravity to get more limits inside Claude. And also, it's quite easy just to give it commands inside this section, and then it will edit the project for you. The other thing that I would say is, like, some people say, why don't you use Gemini Flash or Gemini Pro, etc. inside the drop down here? The thing is that Claude is a better coder, right? And Claude Code especially is just insanely powerful, right? So for example, if we take the of the project we just loaded, which is this one, it's okay, but it's average, right? It's not that great. So what we can actually do here is we can go into Claude Code and say, okay, make the design plus you of this app 10 times better, more modern, beautiful, interesting, dopamine inducing, bright colors, crazy effects, etc. Right? Just to make it a bit more interesting, just to make it more visual for you watching at home as well, right? And so now it's going to use Claude Code and it's going to start editing the files that we have inside this project so that we can combine it with the power of anti-gravity. And I think when you combine both, you're going to get the best possible outputs. You don't have to use this, to get good outputs from anti-gravity. But if you want the creme de la creme of coding, then we're going to go ahead with this. Now, the other thing that I would say here is I'm not a coder. I don't understand HTML. I don't understand CSS. So you don't need to be a coder. Literally all you're typing in is plain English into the terminal here, and then it's going to go off and do its magic. Some people say, why is anti-gravity better than something like, for example, Visual Studio Code? Honestly, I've found that Visual Studio Code is a little bit techy to use, a little bit more technical if you're not a coder. The other thing that I'd say is like anti-gravity is actually free and it comes with everything pre-installed, right? So it comes with, for example, Gemini 3 Pro, Free Flash, Claude Sonnet 4.5, Claude Opus 4.5, right? And these are paid APIs normally, but you can use them for free within limits inside anti-gravity. The other thing that I like with anti-gravity is it has a built-in computer use agent so that it can test and self-iterate the project inside the chat here. And previously when I've tested stuff out, like for example, Klein, Visual Studio Code, I don't really use them anymore just because I find them like super buggy, and also like the UI is pretty bad when you test them out normally. Maybe that's changed, but for me, I think the anti-gravity, even the first time I used it, was really much better. And so you can see here, we've now got the CSS being edited with animation and effects. And the other thing I like here is like, it gives you a plain English breakdown of everything that's doing in the meantime, right? You could also code out multiple projects if you wanted to, just open up new windows and then start coding other stuff out. But that's basically how this works. Now, if we go to the video notes from today, let me show you this. I've actually included some video notes and an extra video tutorial inside the AI Success Lab that just breaks down what we're doing, what we're building, etc. And you could build all sorts of stuff. So for example, for me, what would be useful? For example, I could build out a lead magnet for the AI Profit Boardroom, and I could use this prompt inside anti-gravity with Claude Code. I could also, for example, generate an SEO content idea generator for Goldie Agency, which is perfect for my SEO agency. I could create a daily accountability tracker, right? Because I track a lot. I like to hold myself accountable, and I could do that. Even for personal stuff like a Muay Thai training log would be pretty good as well, right? And what I've also included here, if you really want to learn anti-gravity, if you want to understand it step by step, I've built out a 30-day plan, as you can see right here. This is completely free inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments and description, but it shows you step by step how to use this stuff and how to get results with this stuff. All right, so we'll come back to anti-gravity in a second, but I just want to show you that there's a full framework and a full 30-day plan inside the AI Success Lab from today. Now, we'll come up onto the old way and the new way. I just want to see where anti-gravity is up to with Claude Code. And you can see sometimes it will ask me to allow edits and that sort of thing. So I'm going to say, yes, allow all edits during the session. So sometimes it is going to ask you for permission to edit files, to edit certain things, etc., which is totally normal because it doesn't want to go off and do some crazy stuff without your permission. And so now it's editing the files inside a project, and this is all getting done whilst I'm talking to you, right? Now, if we go back to the notes from today, let's talk about the old way versus the new way, because everything's pretty much changed here, right? So the old way was like, you have an old idea for a business tool, you write a specification document, you find a developer to build it, you wait weeks and months for delivery, it gets expensive, then every change gets more expensive, and then half of what gets built isn't actually what you wanted, and you eventually end up giving up on custom tools and using generic software, right? That was the old way before anti-gravity. The new way is you have an idea for a business tool, you open anti-gravity with Claude Code, you describe what you want in plain English, you watch AI agents build it in real time. It takes minutes or hours instead of weeks. It's free to use anti-gravity. Bear in mind, Claude Code is not free, but you can use Claude APIs inside anti-gravity. The changes happen instantly by just describing what you want. You iterate until it's exactly how you imagined, and then you have custom tools that fit your exact preferences, right? That's the difference here. So if we go back to anti-gravity now, It's now editing the scripts. It's already updated the HTML and the CSS. Perfect. I can see inside the code there it was talking about confetti and that sort of thing. So it's definitely adding some more animations inside there. Rick said he's having dinner. If you're having dinner, mate, you can play it in the background. I'm just kidding. If you can't catch it, just watch the replay back inside the live section of YouTube, and then you can watch the replays back. So it's adding effects and celebrations. In the meantime, whilst we're waiting for that, let's come back to some of the limiting beliefs that might be holding you back from doing this stuff. Some people say, I need to learn coding to build apps. The truth is, you look at, for example, people like Richard Branson. He built Virgin without knowing how to fly planes, right? He hired pilots. He described where he wanted to go. The planes got there. And it's the same with this. You don't need to know how to code to get this to work. You just need to know what you want the code to do. And that's a completely different skill. And you already have it, right? So every time you've explained to someone what you need done, every time you've given instructions to a team member, every time you've described a problem clearly, you are coding in plain English. And now AI agents understand plain English. So really the new empowering belief here is your ability to describe what you want is more valuable than technical coding skills in the age of AI, right? People say AI coding skills are too buggy and unreliable, right? But the truth is, like, early cars broke down constantly, and people said horses were more reliable, and they were right at that moment. But they were wrong about the trend. Okay, so like AI coding tools were buggy last year, but they're dramatically better this year. And anti-gravity plus Claude Code represents a leap. So multiple agents check each other's work, they fix errors automatically, there's real-time testing, and the reliability compounds with each update. So we're past the early adoption phase, and I would say this is getting more and more mainstream ready. So really the new empowering belief that you want here is like AI coding tools have crossed the reliability threshold and improved faster than any technology in history. Bear in mind, what's it going to be like in 6 months, 3 months, etc. Okay? So it's finished coding this out now, as you can see, and then it says you can just open it up in your browser to experience the new design. So let's open it up. I'm going to click on open, and that should launch the page for us. And just to be clear here, we've built the base with anti-gravity on the right-hand side, and then we've coded it out with Claude Code here. So we're going to open that up, and boom, look at that. How much nicer does that look? So if we have a look, this was the old way with anti-gravity, right? So let's compare these side by side. Right? This is the old version with anti-gravity. It's okay, like it does the job, it does the bare minimum, right? But if you want something that's a bit more fun, that's a bit more interesting, look at the background and the animations, the dopamine-inducing colors, the way that it's designed, etc. This is 10 times more better, right? And so look at that. When we actually do the actual typing, it looks 10 times better, right? So it's just a much nicer UI. It looks more interesting. It's made me realize I need to improve my typing skills. But you get the point. And so that's why I recommend using Claude Code inside anti-gravity instead of anti-gravity itself for everything, right? Do the base with anti-gravity, get the code, get most of the base done and the functionality done, and then you can use Claude Code later. The other cool thing that you can do here, if you go to additional options, is you can install MCP servers. So for example, you could install Firebase if you need the backend or Superbase, right? And you can connect those. You can always use stuff like Perplexity Ask, which will link it to Perplexity's MCP. But you can see a list of all the MCPs you can connect right there, and then you can just click on that and start installing it, right? Pretty easy. So thanks so much for watching. That is exactly how to use anti-gravity. I've given you the custom framework for today. I've given you the breakdown of all the prompts that you can use, the 30-day plan. What I've also done is included inside the notes from today all the limiting beliefs that might hold you back, plus the old way versus the new way, so that you can really adapt to using this. And then finally, what I've actually done is include 100 prompts for anti-gravity in Claude Code. So if you need stuff, for example, for lead generation tools, for generating, for example, content creation tools, whatever tools you want to build, we've got prompts for it inside the AI Success Lab. And this is a completely free community that connects you with 43,000 AI builders. All right. So just to recap everything that we've covered today, we've covered anti-gravity, Claude Code, the MCPs, and the whole framework that you can use with a 30-day plan, the old way, and the key beliefs that we've really transformed, right? So for example, some people say I need to learn coding, but really you just need to describe what you want clearly. Some people say AI tools are too boggy, but you can see here how they actually worked. Others will say it was too complicated for AI, but complexity is accumulated simplicity, my friends. You might say you're not technical enough, but knowing what you need is enough. You don't need to be technical. Other people say free can't be good, but you saw the first version of anti-gravity's response. If free means companies are competing for your attention, right? It takes time from business, some people say, but actually you get a lot of time saved, right? So if you're worried that you're too busy to implement this, actually it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run, right? Other people say I should wait until this is better, but starting now beats waiting for perfect. So you can see all the limiting beliefs that have transformed, all the prompts, everything else, and that's inside the AI Success Lab. You can just ask ChatGPT if you can't find it inside the link in the comments description. And then if you want to get help, support, personally connect with me, etc., you can do that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments in the description. 2,000 serious AI builders. We have a daily accountability group in there in case you watch a lot of videos but don't implement everything. That will hold you accountable, right? You can also post inside the community, ask any questions you have. On top of that, you can post your wins and your goals here. So you can see, for example, Justin was posting about this amazing AI avatar that he built. You can see here, Vladimir built a backlink checker prototype. And you can see here, Sandra is feeling very accomplished, right? So these are people winning with AI. If you want to join a group of winners and a tribe of winners, join the AI Profit Boardroom. On top of that, you can ask questions. I answer these personally. Plus, we all help and support you along the way. On top of that, what we can actually do is inside the goals section here, you can post your goals and that sort of thing. Now, you'll also be able to get on 4 coaching calls per week. So you can jump on the live coaching calls, join a PhD trained scientist who can help you live in person, answer all your questions. If you struggle with business automation, you want to learn how to use AI for business automation, you can get the 6-week AI masterclass here and go from complete beginner to expert to implement it inside your business. If you struggle with overwhelm, we actually have a focus protocol to save you time, keep you focused, which is what I personally use to stay focused. If you want to learn how to build AI avatar videos, you'll get our full process right here. If you want to get more clients for your agency, then you can check out this section. And if you want help on AI SEO, well, you can check out this section right here on AI SEO, right? So everything you need is inside the AI Profit